Hey guys, it's Viking Lass again, and you're back for another episode of Watching Paint Dry. Yay! Paint is so exciting! Here, where we will be painting the mechs that have been used in the previous episodes of Battletech that have been destroyed and whatnot.
And in future episodes.
Yes. And future episodes as well. So you guys know, every 10 subs, we will be giving away a Steam key. So we're getting close to that, so keep that in mind. Also,
7 away!
7 away, that's it!
Hey!
Yay, there's all the hype in chat. Hi guys, how are you? And then also just a reminder that every tip that happens today, well, it's not a reminder because this is the first time it's happening, is that we're going to be writing down your names up on the board. If you do a tip, you tell us what you want to write, perhaps your spirit animal, I'd like to know. I think everyone would like to know. Or you can ask us what ours is.
Inquiring minds.
Yes.
Want to know.
Either a doodle or a drawing. Or in every sub, we'll also be writing your names down, so you want that to happen. So joining me today is Jordan Weisman. I don't want to call you the grandfather because you're too young.
If my kids would get busy, my wife and I
Hey,
would love
get on
being
it.
grandfathers.
Get on it.
Just saying, little hint there.
Oh man!
Little hint for the kids.
A nice little push.
Yeah.
He's the creator of Battletech.
With this much gray hair, you deserve to be a grandfather.
Well, you could just make it blue. And then...
Okay, all right. That might be the
I
next...
individually pull them out as they come, so eventually I will no longer have a beard.
That might be instead of the next beard off.
Yeah.
Beard on.
We could have a beard coloring.
Right.
Glitter beard.
We have paint, we have primer.
That's right.
Glitter
That might
beard.
be... I'll see if Mitch signs up for that one. Okay.
And then the other bearded fellow we have here is Don Thacker.
Hello!
Don, where can people find you?
They can find me at starmazer.tv on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays, and they can find me at starmazer.com, STARMAZER.com. You just look up Don Thacker on the internet. I am everywhere. It's a thing. But yeah, no, check out our game Star Mazer. That's a cool thing. We're making a game called Star Mazer. It looks cool.
It is a cool game.
But the reason I'm here is because I am not only into mini painting, which I super am. I'm into BattleTech Something Fierce. I did not tell them, but I've kind of. This has been a moment for me. I wanted this moment for a long time. I used to live in those pods that live in them. Yeah, man. Ooh, BattleTech. I played the Hex BattleTech game. Oh man, I'm kind of in a moment.
I appreciate that.
This is one of those things. I'm very rarely speechless. I'm kind of speechless now. This is good. It's awesome. So this guy's incredible. I'm painting next to him. Come on, this is awesome.
All right, guys. So today what we have on
Familiarity
here.
breeds contempt. Don't worry.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. I'll hit you by the end.
That's great.
We will try and get Zach on to paint during the show, Mondor. We promise. We will try and get him on here.
For a big enough tip, we'll actually paint Zach.
Wait. He wants. Mondor's trying to start a fist fight because I actually fired Zach from the entire network last time I was on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I took over.
him?
I did. I fired him. I took over the whole show. But
I wish I knew that because I was writing paychecks recently.
It turns out he actually has personal investment and there's paperwork, and he actually legitimately owns stuff. So you can't just say you're fired and own it, which was news to me.
And maybe to Donald Trump too.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so let's show what we are drawing here. Hold on,
Hold on a
second.
we have an appearance.
Management.
Hello, Zach.
Oh, hey guys.
Oh, it's our lovely, friendly neighborhood Zach.
Our change up was a little quick and we didn't have the sound turned on yet, but right after you made your announcement, we had a $10 donation and a $5 donation.
Wow.
And a subscriber.
Hey!
Wow.
Hey!
Ollie's-
Hyper Rabbit Power, go!
Oh, Ollie64 subscribed and donated $10 and said that
Ollie!
That's awesome.
Their spirit animal is Tina from Bob's Burgers, so looks like you've got work to do on that,
All
that
right.
canvas behind
Yes.
us. And then Butts donated with #Butts, so interpret that how you will.
Oh my God, Tina! I've been drawing Tina.
Can I draw a butt?
Yeah, go for
I'm going
it.
to draw a butt on the canvas.
Go for
this
it.
blue. It's going to be a blue butt.
Oh
It's
my
for
God.
you guys.
Excellent. So while you're drawing that, let's get the paint started so you guys can watch paint dry as we yell about paint drying and Tina and butts. I had to represent the butts again today. So, have you watched Bob's Burgers?
Only a little, not as much as I would like to.
Well, you should.
I know. I'll correct that.
I
as
will.
soon as
I'm going to
possible.
berate you on that in a minute, but first I want to point out what you've got going on here.
These let's see, these guys here, I don't know, again, we're on that camera. These guys here are the hero mechs for the Death from Above show. So what I've been doing over the last couple of days is kind of crisping up their paint and then started to apply the repairs to the damage that they suffered. So last night on Death from Above, they determined what they were going to repair and what they didn't. So the only one I've gotten that done so far is AJ's mech. And I don't know if you can see that. Well, actually,
Yep.
if I put it over here, will you see that, Joe? Was that?
Yeah, they said the zone is like to here.
Okay.
So probably, yeah.
So I don't know if you see, but so what I did here is the places where the executioner drilled into the mech to do damage last week, I've now put kind of armor patches on top of. And then, in a relatively unique circumstance, a drill bit got stuck into the top of. Are we seeing any of this? Am I doing it? Okay. So a drill bit.
Hey!
Is that a subscriber or what? Donation?
Hyperpower Rabbit, go!
Hyper rabbit power. Don't fuck that up.
Dyslexia. Are you picking on my brain problems, sir?
Zach, check your privilege.
Oh.
button.
I'm also dyslexic,
Oh.
and I'm going to make fun of you.
Severe dyslexic, and so I can relate.
I am not dyslexic at all. I have none dyslexic in me.
Can I have that RPG?
You just
can't.
a Yoda fan?
So can I have not watched Death from Above.
Okay.
I want to understand, is this sort of Gorka Morka style where you play and the damage that's taken during the match you then represent in the model?
Correct.
And then next time you play that the model carries. Because I was a massive Gorka Morka fan, and I built all the train of engines that you blow up, and then you have to build all the blowing. It's
Very,
kind of like
very
that.
Gomez.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
From the Addams family.
Yeah.
So this idea came from when we were first doing BattleTech and promoting the game back, the dawn of time.
Sure.
At conventions, we would the original game shipped with plastic models,
Right.
and so we'd build them, and then we would like screw them up in
Yeah.
Reflect. So what they did is we had. Melting for laser shots and drills for damage, and then as part of the role playing game, they have only so much money to spend on repairs.
Right.
So they have to determine what they're going to repair and what they didn't.
So your damage persists if you don't repair the damage.
Exactly. So
That's awesome.
and so they did they repaired the armor in this particular case. So I put armor patches on.
Right.
This drill bit thing here. This was a big drill that was sticking out of him, and so I turned that into an unexploded ordnance.
So it punctured but didn't detonate.
It didn't detonate,
Right.
and they determined to leave that because it was delicate to
Yeah, because it could detonate at any moment.
right. So
Yeah,
last
yeah.
night I built Hyper
Oh! Yes.
So last night who was that? And thank you. Whoever that
Yeah,
was.
he's been bringing them out. The last time we got Paradigm Shift, I believe, was that a sub or was that a donation, Zach? He's
Either
not
way,
looking.
great.
Either way, we love you, Paradigm Shift. I'm gonna be putting you up on there.
Yes.
I'm gonna point a little thing here to Don's butt.
Yeah.
It's a little saggy and goes to the left, but that's okay because all butts are
You're
beautiful.
standing in this. It's sort of a perspective.
perspective.
view.
All
Yeah,
butts are
exactly.
beautiful.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
all that matters.
That's on purpose.
Thank you, guys.
plan.
And yes, can we point out Zach's clicky shoes? Yes. Yes. Thank you, chat.
right.
Here comes Sir Clicks-a-Lot.
Sir Clicks-a-Lot is on the way.
Hey, Clicky.
Is that because there's a tap dance number coming later?
Oh, $5. Team Dyslexic for the win. I can't read
No,
that.
that would be team.
Kudos.
That would be Team Dyslexics for the new NIW.
Yeah.
For the new.
Thank you.
Oh, what was that?
Quick announcement, actually, that I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show.
This show is an adventure.
That's an announcement.
I'm loving this.
We forgot to make the announcement at the beginning of the show because we made it a rabbit stew, and I forget that some people just tune in. Basically, all of the donations that come in today are going towards a GoFundMe that is currently up to support all the businesses that basically exploded at 1 a.m. this morning in Seattle.
Right.
Wait, what?
What?
There was an explosion in Seattle that knocked out 3 businesses
In
this
Greenwood,
morning.
yeah.
Greenwood.
No.
And there was a GoFundMe set up by the local community, so all the donations that come in today, at the end of the day, we'll be making a contribution to that GoFundMe to support the local community. So thank you guys for helping us help them.
Yeah, guys,
incredible.
guys, give us some more
Awesome.
butts to draw so you can help people out, and you get to see some more blue Smurf butts on the screen. You know, like that.
Anyway, so just because people ask, like, we're asking how we're making all this stuff on the thing. This is just styrene tube. There's a company called Evergreen Scale Models, and they make all sorts of wonderful little extrusions of styrene in like every shape you can imagine.
Hyper Rabbit Power Go!
We have to have some sort of thing where we plan where we start saying it. Because I'm only ever saying power go. Because I'm catching up.
From Sir Clicks-a-Lot.
Sir Clicks-a-Lot! Thank you very much
Let's read that
for the
down,
donation. helping keep the show going, and more especially helping the people who were affected by the crazy gas power explosion last night at 2 a.m. in Greenwood.
Where's the height?
Near Seattle, or in, I guess technically Seattle, in King County.
Okay.
Sorry, Jack.
I was awakened by my phone kind of buzzing off the hook. Everybody was tweeting about it. All the people that I follow on Twitter were like freaking out that this, I think it was a Euro place, the gas line had ruptured and it had detonated and took 2 other buildings with it.
Yeah, and I thankfully didn't like kill anybody. Right?
Yeah, apparently only like 9 firefighters went to the hospital and they went with minor injuries.
Yeah.
But other than that, luckily it was at like 2:40 in the morning.
Jeez.
So nobody got detonated
Yeah.
with the buildings.
Jeez.
But those are every one of those businesses are independently owned businesses who are run by human beings who like just had all their stuff blow up.
Yeah.
So
that's why all donations
Right.
today go to help those guys. Which,
yeah.
Butts to help people. I mean, you can't go wrong there. The more butts you guys add,
butts overall help people.
Yeah.
they do. You know
they
what?
do.
I'm
Right?
actually utilizing a butt right now.
It's amazing.
Oh, this is so comfy.
In fact, I use my butt all the damn time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Do you know what
what
this is?
without a butt?
yeah.
Do you know what Plus says? Toys for tots? Cash for butts.
Yeah. So, Phil Fatale wants to have a hawk off. Don Hawk, I would lose that hawk off.
Oh! Ready? I'll...
Count us down.
3, 2, 1.
Hyper Rabbit Power, go!
Oh, thank you to whoever that was. We'll find out soon from our
From Sir
helper.
Shoe Clicking.
Sir Clicks-a-lot.
Sir Clicks-a-lot, who I have to add up here. Oh, hold on.
Paradigm shift was $25.
$25.
$5 for Paradigm Shift. Thank you very much.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my God.
Are the winner.
All right, I'm gonna stop talking and start painting.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Enough chit chat, and let's do some mech color in here. And you can. So guys, that's the one I started last
Yes,
week.
and she did a great job.
You're so kind. That was my first mech ever, and my gosh, I had no idea how to start, and I never even realized how difficult it was to decide colors for a mech.
Yeah.
It was. Ugh.
Well,
So
and this
you
is a
can-
particularly hard mech, right? Because it's this super hyper color kind of 80s monstrosity.
I'm sorry. I'm so used to dancing at this music. I can't. 1, 2, 3. Hyper Rabbit Power, go! Thank you again.
Yeah. Can you hand me those inks? I want to check them out. I can't see the labels. I'm gonna set up a color scheme right now. So I think we have varying levels, varying degrees of experience here, right? So obviously you have all the experience. Which
Well,
is awesome.
One second. Hold on. We're gonna hear who this was. What you got for me?
$5 donation from Scottish Demo.
Scottish.
Evo cares. And can I get a Scottish flag with Evo above it, please?
Can you?
Scottish flag with Evo.
Could I get that written down on a piece of paper from Sir Clicks-a-lot, please? I can't help it. All right, when this song ends.
Hyper Rabbit Power, go!
Thank you guys so much. Again, this is going to a great cause.
Yeah,
Lots
super
of good
cause.
stuff.
Important cause.
Good stuff. And hello, Feisty Fox. What now?
This is acrylic. I don't want to use that. I put my mouth on that.
Donated $30. Hashtag when Rocco appreciates Sir Clicks-a-lot dedication to helping others through funny donations.
Oh my God! Thank you so much,
Aren't these
dude. If we could,
technically folks, too?
I'd love for there to be a way for me to like be able to see that, so we could read it out loud for everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would eat these. I wouldn't eat
Yes.
this.
Okay. Back.
Non-toxic, waterborne acrylic paint.
Yeah. So.
Putting this in my mouth.
Okay. So yes, I'm gonna write some more butts on here.
You just rule that board and you make
Yes,
it
I will.
responsive
I will.
and a thank you for all those people who are helping all those businesses.
Guys, you are so kind. Thank you so much for that.
Would you mind if I walked around you for a second? I'm gonna
You
grab
can,
some of
in
these
fact, there's
paints.
boxes of more. There's more paint out
have
in
no
the
idea.
lobby if we want to get more paint.
Yeah, I don't. I
Because
think
I
I might
actually
be
don't see
here.
the color I need right now. So hunting for color, it's part of the process.
See,
Anyway,
I
this
hear
this
you.
one which Viking Last started last week was actually a really hard one to do because
Thank you.
that
That makes me feel better.
yeah, I mean, it's a complicated color scheme, and it's not trying to be camo or militaristic, in that regard. It's supposed to be very showy, and particularly the Mech Warrior, she requested glitter paint, and glitter paint is really a bitch to do. It takes like coat after coat after coat to cover. So that's been no fun at all. So now I'm just kind of cleaning it up and gonna finish it up and then weather it. She also wanted this arm to get into orange, so I've been working on that. But yeah, it's we're gonna get there. We're gonna make them. They're all gonna look great.
Genova Plus has asked Don, please don't eat the paint. We can only handle one GoFundMe at a time.
So,
Good news, non-toxic. Also, it's almost over.
Hyper Rabbit Power, go!
Thank you again, guys.
So I come from a very deep history in painting minis.
Oh wait, hold on.
Hashtag Sir Click Salad is big pimpin'.
Oh, that's perfect.
Hashtag Sir Clicks-a-lot is big pimpin'. That's the greatest. So I actually I've been painting minis since I was 11. I started painting minis at a military camp that my parents sent me to. I was 12, I guess. And I got a little Warhammer Fantasy Orc, and I just obsessed over that for the longest time. And then I came home and wanted to get into Warhammer, but I wasn't super into fantasy. I was super into science fiction, so I got into the world of science fiction minis, did Warhammer 40k a lot, had all kinds of armies, did all kinds of painting, and then eventually that led me to Battletech. I actually came to Battletech through Robotech because of the word tech.
Like the word tech?
It had tech in it.
Good word.
And Robotech robots are all cool, but they're all this sort of like anime-style jetty things. And I was into the big sort of Battletech-style, like hulking robot jocks-looking.
Robot jocks.
Yeah,
See, I like the
awesome.
little bipedal ones that run around and like just like pew things out of their little like arm stub things. That's
So
what I like.
I've been painting a long time. I'm excited. I've never painted a 3D printed Battletech mech before. This is
Yeah,
incredible.
or probably wouldn't. These big. These guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna. This is a scale. I'm normally at 22 millimeter, like skirmish little combat dudes. So I am actually kind of weirded out by like how I'm even supposed to start at something of this size. So I'm gonna just base coat and go from there. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, I found more brushes too.
Nice.
All right.
So you're sticking with Tanker Black. You wanted that initially, right? The blank.
Oh no, go ahead, take it.
Someone wants me to draw the Scottish flag. I don't know how to draw the Scottish flag.
Somebody has to phone that out. Here, let me.
The Viking last needs a Jenner. What's that mean?
You got it.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna keep hunting for.
Don, by the way, I never would have guessed you went to military school.
No, is that a sarcastic thing or is
I
that
just did a sarcastic
what?
hop swoop right there.
This is easy. You got this.
Oh my god! I'm kidding! I knew what this looked like, guys. It's literally
it's
just
military.
a blue.
Like a little military academy thing, sort of a summer camp that had school built into it. That was a thing. It wasn't because I was terrible, honestly. It was because I was artistic, and I think back in the day when you were artistic,
They didn't know what to do with you.
right. You weren't. I wasn't playing sports. I was like drawing and writing and all that kind of stuff.
And they said, "We better toughen this
toughen
this dude up."
So I got toughed up, and it was great. And I actually learned a lot. I had a great time, and
Do you
I
remember if you used frostbite?
remember that
for this?
experience very well.
That's what it looks like. It's frostbite. Yes. And then what was it? It's never too late for butts, Gamizmo. That is very true. And Viking NYC, which throws me off all the time because yeah, Viking. It's never too late for butts. See, look, chat knows. Chat, is it ever too late for butts? No. Can I get some butts in chat just to share the butts with everyone who's showing up? Again,
We're
we've
officially
got.
butsing it up.
We have people asking where the donations are going. The donations, again, are going towards the businesses that were affected by the explosion that happened at 2:30 this morning here in Seattle, which I just found out about myself. So these are all going towards a great cause. So keep the butts a-coming. Sir Clicks-a-lot butts. And yes, if you want me to draw Zach wearing ruby shoes, throw that in a donation. And I'm
You can just take a photo. He's
We'll
currently
put them
wearing
on there.
ruby shoes.
Look at all them butts. Look at all those butts. Look at those
It's
lovely
butts
butts
everywhere.
in chat.
Oh my God.
Those are
Butt
some
love.
lovely butts. So much
Okay, that
love.
was probably.
Okay.
I'm sitting next to the creator of Battletech, and he's all like, "Butt love.
Okay, that was probably.
This is a dream.
Nah.
I'm in a dream. I'm gonna wake up from this. This is incredible."
So besides the butts,
It's amazing how dyslexia can affect your mouth. Well said.
You can use that for everything. I didn't cheat on my taxes. I'm dyslexic.
Tubbs.
I did not steal that vehicle. I'm dyslexic.
So my question, as you see here, Jordan picked out the paint that I used on the mech with my lovely color palette. What exactly are you touching up with it?
Oh, so I'm just going around kind of getting places where one color has bled into another color, and just kind of cleaning that up. I went and I redid all of the kind of recovered all the areas that were white to make them brighter, and then I want to weather them. I think one of the issues was when Viking last weathered the previous white, she used the black, and for weathering most colors, black is highly appropriate. For white, though, it tends to just make it gray.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we want to dry brush with actually different colors of grays and browns to kind of reflect the dirt on top of white.
Okay.
So that's why I went and kind of repainted the white, get it bright again, and then I'll take it back down with a little bit lighter touch and other colors.
When I started painting this, there was no primer on it, so I noticed how the paint was bleeding and how it was kind of hard to get any lines. So primer's important, kids. That's what I learned last week.
Proper primer prevents piss poor painting. It's the 6 P's of model making.
I love that. That's the kind of thing you get in military school.
You get the 6
true.
P's in
Come on,
military
I did that kind
school.
of shit
It's
all
true.
the time.
Actually, that's a film thing. I have a film company as well, and it's proper
Proper planning.
prevents piss poor production.
Yes, absolutely.
But I just replaced that with primer and painting.
And it works.
It totally works. So this is interesting. Anybody who's watched me before, I see a lot of people in there that have come here because I'm here.
Which we deeply appreciate. Thank you.
This is the quietest I will ever be. I'm painting. I love painting. Like, you guys might not believe this, but I actually shut up and paint a lot. And I'm very quiet. I'm just down in a little painting. This is my little world. Normally I'm very expressive. I hope to not disappoint anyone.
I feel so left out of your life right now because
Yeah,
you're just
I know
so
it.
shut like down.
It's true. It's true.
It's kind of hard to connect with you right now.
So my aborted college career
Uh-huh.
was at a military academy as well.
Ah.
Quasi-military. It was the United States Merchant Marine Academy,
Okay.
which is technically part of the Navy.
Well, it's a good thing you were a dropout because you would go on to do nothing with your life. Right? Isn't that
I
the...
know I have friends who graduated with good solid careers. Navigating ships all around the world.
Nice. My college career ended my sophomore year, when I was offered a job with a single paycheck that was bigger than both of my parents. I was a computer programmer for 12 years. So,
But you recovered?
yeah, I am. I'm a recovered. I consider myself an expatriate. Like I escaped the computer programming life and am now making films and games.
Which is awesome.
But there was that moment where I had to question, like, so, and by the way, this is during the internet bubble, so that popped, and I didn't have a $90,000 a year job at the point. But before it popped, I had to question, like, is this a decision? Do I leave college to pursue this? And I think if it was computer programming in the late 90s, yes. If it's anything else like now, it depends on how great you are and how, what the environment looks like.
We have a quick question from chat. It's about Death from Above. It says, did anyone get how we can help the mercs at Death from Above? It will be released on Friday, or will we know beforehand? So if someone back there can let us know about that so we can answer your question, Tech Command, we will let you know. And then also, I want to, if every now and then as you paint, if you just turn and just show the camera.
Good idea. Okay.
Yeah.
I might steal your camera. Not steal the actual camera, but steal your head.
Well, I'm almost done.
you should.
It's this damn.
I want to show.
This
I want
lovely
to show.
Scottish flag. that
I want
I'm
to show the
working
chat that I am painting black on
black.
a black primer. I'm doing a base coat of black.
Man, it works.
Yeah, it totally works. But it's not super entertaining for you. I'm sorry.
on. You guys have been. I'm just trying to keep up with the generosity of this chat here. You guys are so nice.
I'm probably going to express the color scheme of this mech entirely in this one leg during this show. I'm probably not going to get to the whole mech, but hopefully,
But
if
you
I'm
can come
on
back next week.
exactly, if I can come back, I will finish this mech, and it will be incredible and awesome and blue.
And blue.
Blue, yeah,
Really?
yeah. I want to do a sort of a blue into ice look, reminiscent of my Luck Boy army from Warhammer 40k. It'll have nice black highlights. Black underpinnings highlighted with pure white. And then a nice blue coat with accents of probably some kind of orange or something to give it that color wheel contrast.
I'm gonna interrupt real quick. I don't know where to start. Can you guys help me?
Sure.
Absolutely. Go
Again.
ahead. Go for it.
Oh, so do you have an overall idea of like a color palette you'd like to kind of use?
No.
You can for you guys at home as well. I found that it's not crappy of you to go look for established color palettes online.
Absolutely.
That's
So,
like a thing.
You might want to just look up some military vehicles
Right.
and different armies from different countries and get inspiration from from that. Which also movies also really work great.
Movies are really great for that. In fact, for those of you painting mechs, there's a series of films. Stuart Gordon made the first one. Oh, we have a.
It's starting. It's starting. Maybe they're gonna be Hyper Rabbit Power, go! Maybe, guys, unless that was a suggestion for a color palette, Chad, if you want to throw in some input on what color I should start with the mech, and if anyone says beige, you know.
That was Erzlin with $25.
Oh, wow.
Butts and charity and butts.
Butts, everyone loves butts. What? Everyone
Butts
loves
and charity are like the two best things.
Yes, they are. Comfy and
charitable
giving.
butts.
Charitable butts are even better.
Butts.
Awesome.
And right now we are all participating in being charitable butts.
Thank you so much, guys.
So I think there's a story behind Lucky Army.
Okay, that one?
Yours. You said you have a Lucky
Oh
Army.
I'm sorry. Luck Boys are
Boys, okay.
are a type of orc in Warhammer 40K.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that.
And there are speed boys who paint their vehicles red because the red ones go faster. And then there are luck boys, and they actually do in the game. They go faster. If you're painted primarily red, you get a distance bonus. But the luck boys, they use blue as a highlight color. They punch each other. They dip their hand and they slap each other, and they color each other blue. And then blue is meant to be a lucky color.
So should I paint it blue?
No, I'm painting mine blue.
So because you're painting yours blue, I can't paint my mech
Well,
blue?
you can, but it's just
But
going to
there-
pale in
there
comparison.
would have to be a wrestling match.
Fine.
Yeah,
Well,
we'd have to
determine-
fist fight each other.
We've got two mauves in chat. Guys, the first color that I see 3 of in chat, this is what I do on my stream. The first color I see 3 of in chat is what I will use as
So we need
first
somebody
color.
to do puce really fast.
No, not
really
puce.
fast.
No.
First, you have to
Puce.
look up how to spell puce and then go for it.
Yeah.
We've
So-
got mauve going on here.
So I thought I would bring some luck to my mech
That's a good idea.
by giving highlights of blue highlights to this.
So
mech.
so in that case, why use a you got a black primer?
Right.
Why do an additional coat of black underneath your blue?
I'm imagining that this mech obviously has an armature underneath a bunch of exo armor, right? The armature is black, so everything above the armor has to be a lighter color than black. So everything between all these chunks of armor is going to remain black. But to
Okay.
do that, I'm going to first cover the whole thing with black. Ideally, what I would have done had we had a white primer, honestly, I would have primed it white and inked it black in the inner details.
Yes.
To give it sort of a rugged, weathered look in the inside of it. So, but since that's not the case, I'm gonna full black and then start layering
your
on
way up
different,
from there, yeah.
work up from the deepest color, the darkest color up to the lightest color. So I have this nice, thick, great coat gray, which is going to be my second base. Then I'm going to move on to an exile blue for the sort of surface base. And then I'm going to kick it with Signar blue base, and then highlight with arcane blue mixed with white in various layers to give it sort of this icy edging. That's my plan, at
So
least.
That's an awesome plan.
it seems that, God, you guys are so good at this. Like, you have all your colors picked out.
I do.
Fortunately for me, chat here, I'm going to ignore everyone who said plaid, because in my channel, plaid is not a color. So they've suggested mauve. Ignoring plaid, mauve won.
Right. All right.
So I really like the sound of what you're doing with your mech there.
Yeah.
Can you guys help me, like, turn that into a mauve? Like, what is the
Yeah.
best way to start? I'm scared.
I think the best thing to
Hold
do
me.
is start with it. So you'll notice on the leg here, there's this sort of this metally stuff in between the armor bits, right?
yeah, kind of like the
Yeah. If I were going with mauve, I would pick something that would look good under a mauve.
So like a lighter color? Would you
Maybe
suggest
like not a lighter color necessarily, but maybe like a metal color. Something.
Exactly. That's what I
Okay.
tend to do.
Exactly.
Okay.
Is put try to do metal in the gaps you see like here, the
Yes.
exposed parts that kind of represent kind of more big gears and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I tend to do those in like the pig iron.
Pig iron?
Yeah, that's the color. That's what they call it here.
It's bolt gun gray or bolt gun metal in Citadel colors. If you guys at home are using Citadel colors,
But we here we prefer the P3.
we do, and it tastes better than Citadel,
it does.
and also it won't give you mouth cancer,
Exactly.
which Citadel only stopped doing rather recently. Someone I swung that. It sounded
That was
like
awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
Well done. But yeah, our friends over at Privateer have been very generous with giving us a bunch of supplies to work with. And actually, I was about to say, I'm using this non-Privateer paint because they don't have neon orange.
But privateer
and she
press-
requested and you can really tell the difference when you try to use this stuff because
Whoa.
it's really yucky.
That hurts my eyes.
I would like to
right?
disclaim.
It's really yucky.
Orange umber, and people are admitting that. Okay, I want to hands up in chat. How many of you guys had to Google what mauve is? It's okay. Be honest. I won't judge you because I'm still a little confused. Mauve is like in between of this, right? Do you guys know what
I would
mauve
have to Google it.
is? Would you have to Google mauve?
I would think it would be your red color, that red color there, with a deeper red mixed with it.
Okay.
I would ignore that orange bit entirely
Okay.
for a nice mauve.
Can you?
I need to disclaim that I have never gotten mouth cancer from a Citadel product. Since we're talking,
Disclaimer. The
That's
privateer
very clear.
press paints
Okay.
are much.
I'm just going to give
more
up on this because
Tastier.
this is really awful.
much tastier.
This is
What
not-
does
this
mauve
page is going
look
out
like?
really badly. I'm not using this.
All right, we're gonna ask Siri. Come on. What does mauve look like? It says mob. It's my accent. Oh, mauve is a purple. So yeah, it's kind of like.
It's like a red purple though, which
It's
is why I said
okay.
take your magenta, like your whatever that is, that not that color,
This one's pretty close.
and then like red it up a little, like make it
Yeah.
richer so it looks more purple than.
Mauve.
Yeah, so
Whatever
this is a red, but
There. Okay, yeah. So it's like a deeper purple. So something like
right.
that.
I thought mauve was a little lighter purple. Is it the deeper one?
So right now Google is giving us many suggestions on
50
what color.
shades of
brownish
mauve,
purple.
guys.
50 shades of mauve.
One of us has to get tied up now.
But
It's me. I get to get tied up now.
Of course, he suggested. He's like, "Oh, look! I happen to have ropes and strings in my bag."
Strings.
And by
Chains.
strings, I mean like
That'll
diamond
kill the
string.
mood. Use those strings on me. Yeah, that kills the mood right there.
Oh God, that yarn is the best. I'm kidding. Plaid yarn.
Okay.
Back
I
to the
don't-
mauve.
I really hated that orange, but maybe it's the only orange we've got.
All right, guys, I'm gonna try and figure out.
That was the non-privateer press.
The
orange.
non-privateer.
You
press
really
orange.
hated the non. Wow.
It did. Look at it. It was like
That doesn't look like paint at all.
It's awful. So I'm gonna see what I can find over here.
So here I'm blackening this guy, as you'll notice. Look at I'm stealing. That's prestige I'm stealing right there, guys. That's not my camera.
All right, guys.
You should have a camera.
Mauve is a golden girl.
Next time. Next week.
Next week we'll have you a camera.
I would love that.
Hey, everybody! He's showing up. Mauve is a golden girl. Oh, chat. Oh, chat.
Guys, that was clever. That was clever.
Philmette, good point. Oh, how did Mauve get us to S&M? Where did that?
That was Don Thacker, everybody.
Welcome to Don's mind.
Oh man.
Oh, that's gold. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna try it with a little bit of gold because I like to live
That's
on the
totally that's completely mauve. When I think mauve, gold is what comes into my brain.
Yeah, because a golden girl.
Right. Right. Look at that.
Look at, way to tie that together.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. You know what? Very impressed with the
Guys, this sucks for Star Mazer. I'm gonna go back to the office and just bring out my paints and keep painting.
Well, I've been doing this every night till about midnight for the last week because I'm just having so much fun.
Yeah.
These are some of the bad guys. Actually, you'll appreciate this one. I'll just.
Ooh,
I
look!
don't know.
It looks
I
like
don't know if you
Mauve.
can see our little
look at that
tank. We have hovercrafts,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So this is a kit bash from a Bradley fighting vehicle.
Does everybody in the chat know what a kit bash is?
I do not.
Because if not, we can tell you what a kit bash
Yes,
is.
could you please tell us
So
what
a kit bash is where you buy a model, in this case, the 1/100 scale Bradley fighting vehicle, and then you basically fuck it up.
Yeah.
So for instance, on the bottom here, I got rid of I didn't use the treads. I pulled off all the treads and didn't do all that. And I bent a piece of this styrene the tubular styrene, bent that around to be the kind of hover curtain, if you will, and then took the turret, got rid of the puny little gun that a Bradley fighting vehicle has, and built this kind of used another piece of styrene and two flat pieces of styrene to kind of create something that looks more like an energy weapon, which is the goal. And then this is a little logo that Spencer, one of the graphic artists in the company, designed for the bad guy unit this week. And this was the first time I've tried these. I printed out decals on this decal paper and then tried to apply it, which was both a blessing and a curse because it comes out really nice and thin, but the adhesive is for crap. So I actually ended up using white glue to glue
Underneath it.
Yeah, white glue
Right.
to get that to stay down. But yeah, kit bashing is a lot of fun. Just being able to mess around with stuff and make new things out of them. And then I used a little bit of foam core, which is available in any hobby kind of craft shop like a Michael's or something like that. And I do a lot of work with that. But I cut it out that way, kind of give it a little float, painted it the same color as the terrain.
It looks awesome.
And then, so having used all the treads, pulled all the treads off the Bradleys, I had these treads left. So I built a little foam core base and put the treads on there. And eventually this will be like a long tom artillery piece.
Nice.
When I get it all kind of all put together here. I don't know if you can see any of that, but that's the goal. That's a little bit longer term project.
That one looks cool. We do have, where was it? There was a question back there. First off, someone asked again where the donations are going today. They're going to help the companies that were affected by the explosion in Seattle this morning. So that's where all that's going. And again, every time you drop a donation or subscribe, we'll put your name or whatever you want up on the board, the Butts board.
Butts board.
And then also, guys, chat seems very concerned about the amount of paint that Don is consuming. So
Guys, I've probably eaten all this amount of paint in my entire
I
life.
think that every time you guys see Don put a paintbrush in his mouth, you need to yell in the chat, Don, think about your children.
Oh no!
Like just so I can see that and I can turn.
But I don't actually have children. Wait for the music to end.
Hyper
Power, go!
Thank you so much, whoever that is. We'll find out in a minute.
So famous examples of kit bashing, guys, ladies and gents, are the
quick,
Millennium
real quick.
Falcon.
Real quick, hold
Absolutely.
on. Go ahead, guys.
Pretty much everything in Star Wars.
With like a hashtag Evo under the Scottish flag, please.
Oh, hashtag Evo above the Scottish flag. Yes, sir.
So they're pretty much everything in Star Wars, but definitely the Millennium Falcon, famously. Also, the Ed 209 from RoboCop was famously kit bashed. There's actually, it's mostly model cars. They did that on purpose to give it a sort of a GM, like Detroit feel. Yeah. I'm originally from Detroit, so I love that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Chicago?
Oh, nice. I lived in Chicago for 6 years.
Oh, really?
I like pizza. Does that
sorry,
count? I want a bomb too.
The entire opening sequence to Blade Runner, all of those buildings were kit bashed out of model kits purchased for the production.
Yeah.
So that's an example of kit bashing gone right.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, games like Gorka Morka and other model games that have persistent things, including, I guess now, this
Death from Above.
Death from
for
Above.
The show. at
The
least.
show has persistent, so you can kit bash that way too.
Right.
Kit bashing is a long tradition in model making. So those of you who are paying close attention, no one's called it out yet, but until just now, where I'm doing this top coat, I was surprised no one mentioned it. I was using a dry brush for base coating, which those among you who are super into models would poo-poo that idea. But these models are so big that my normal base coat brush, this guy here, this flat brush here, would not get into the places I needed to. So I used the pointiness of the Privateer Press dry brush, which I will use as a dry brush shortly. To get into those hard-to-reach places. But I would suggest not doing that if you're using your dry brush as a dry brush. You should have a standard brush, but I don't seem to have a standard one. I have a small dry brush, a studio brush.
There's more underneath my guy here.
Oh, I'll steal one of those and put it in my mouth.
Go for it.
Don, think of the children. Your children.
But I don't have children.
But you might.
It's hard to think
You
of
got
them.
half children. Just think about your half children.
That
Also,
implies that's really weird.
chat.
I don't like that implication.
Sorry, biology is in my brain. So, chat. If you guys have any questions while we're going, I believe if you start it with Hyper RPG, it will highlight in chat, so I can definitely pick those out, so I can be sure to ask us and everyone else. So, if you guys have any questions, bring them up, so I can like spirit animals.
If I might steal your camera for a second here.
By me?
This is a nicely base-coated black, right? It looks kind of like the primer, only nice and firm. If you were to compare it to a primed piece, you'll see that it's obviously much darker and more full. This is what I'm going to use to start painting my blue on, which I'll be doing now.
So
And what I've got going down here is I failed in finding an orange, that we had a can of orange paint. So remembering, your elementary school, paint mixing, I mixed red and yellow together to create an orange.
Oh my gosh.
I
That
know.
would have helped me a lot when I was younger. If I had only known the magic.
First off, Project Human raid. Hey guys, thank you for the raid. Get in here. Come draw. We're gonna paint, talk a little bit about our lives, figure out how to paint a mech, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Fortunately, these gentlemen here are helping me.
We are considered gentlemen now.
I know, that's a major upgrade.
You're welcome. So, we've been asked by chat. First off, Don, non-toxic doesn't mean safe to eat. Come on, man. Secondly, we were asked for a quick brush tutorial. So again, I am super beginner.
Sure.
Basics, and there's plenty of beginners out there. So can you give a quick brush tutorial, kind of like maybe talk about the different types of brushes and what they're for, as like
Sure.
what you
How
guys
do you want
are
to approach
using?
this? Do you want to start or should I start?
Well, yeah, I'm kind of, basic on this as well.
Okay.
Because most of my work was done 20 years ago.
Sure.
I've only, one of the joys I've had in doing this BattleTech show was it gave me the right excuse to get back into modeling.
Right.
It's been a long time. Back in the day, I built all of the old FASA exhibits and displays because I just love doing it.
Right.
That's why I got it. But so to me, I am a huge fan of the flat brush, and so I almost do everything with flat brushes.
Fair.
The kind
I
of
see they're prevalent in your collection.
Yes.
What is the advantage of a flat brush to a pointy brush?
I just find that I'm better able to control where the paint goes, and then often I do a lot of detail by using the not the edge of the brush, but the top or the top of the brush. So I'll lay the brush down on top of a subject and get the elevated part by just going along the top of it, as opposed to having like a good enough set of hands to use a pointed brush and trace something. I'll just come down over the top of it and kind of
Let the geometry do the work for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
Is
because
that
I'm
is
not
that
talented
cheating
enough.
or being skilled
It's
and
being
smart?
skilled. That's skill. That's a trade
Skill?
craft.
Okay. Just
that
learning.
is.
Just
But
learning.
there's nothing wrong with cheating.
No. If you can cheat, cheat.
Yeah, I guess
Because
that's-
you're just making art, right? Like
That's right. So I think that the definition of trade skill is knowing the cheats.
exactly. It's having a full understanding of the cheats, and if you're really good, knowing the ones that other people don't know. Thusly making yourself more valuable. So my normal workflow with painting is I start with a base coat, and normally I use a base coat brush, which is a round brush without a tip. We don't. It doesn't seem like we have. Oh, this might be. No, it's a dry brush. A base coat brush is. These are. They're just brushes. They're just different size of this, but they all have different. You can utilize them for different purposes if you like. But a base coat brush for me is a nice, thick, rounded brush that I can use to dab on paint, but in a nice, clear, even way, which I've done here with this little guy. It's nice and even. You see how even that is? But I cheated by using a dry brush. So the point of a dry brush is it's pointed. I'll show you this dry brush here. This is a dry brush, and what you do with a dry brush is you take it, and it's got this conical shape so that you can push down, and it splines out around
Splines.
it.
That's an awesome
It bends,
word.
and see how it gets all flurry, like fluffy like that? You use that, you make sure it's nice and dry. You get a little bit of paint, you dry that paint off, and then you can take this guy with this nice flurry of bristles and kind of rake it over your the top surface of your model, and it will only get the highest, most areas. And because it's all floofy like this, it allows you to kind of leave the areas topographically lower than the higher areas untouched by paint. And it's really good if you wanna just paint the higher surfaces. Use a detail brush and get in there and paint it. But if you want to make it look like there's weathering or dirt, or you had paint that has been like a lot of the ways I weather mechanical items, I'll take my my outer coat, like the blue that I'm going to put on this guy, and then I'll take a nice silver or whatever I imagine the metal under that looks like, and I'll dry brush along the edges to make it look like the paint has been flecked
Exactly.
off.
Oh,
But
cool.
but this fluffiness will allow me to get imperfections that I would otherwise have to get in there with like a 1 or 2 hair brush and add myself, which nobody has time for that.
Yeah, so, and that's
sounds
exactly kind of
good.
like what you'll see here with like the edges of here. If you see on this guy, using exactly as Don just described, coming back in with a kind of a metallic and just hitting the dry brush, it picks up all the edges and makes it feel like the paint has been rubbed off of those
Right.
areas. More recently, like I repaired the damage that they were drilled into. So, for instance, this guy, here, this metal patch is a repair from a hit this thing took last week on the show, and then I dry brushed it, and actually in this case intentionally sprayed out a little bit around the edges of the patch to kind of create a look like all the paint had been squired, kind of scored off of that through the process of welding the damage itself and then welding the plate back over on the top.
That's awesome.
We had a question from Kia Hog, I believe, in chat. If you guys are able to scroll down, I would like. It's a question for Jordan that I would like to send his way. 1, 2, 3, hyper rabbit power, go! Or if someone could write that down and bring it back out, I would like to ask him. I didn't want to interrupt while they were giving us so much knowledge, and also.
Wisdom. That's not
wisdom. Yeah,
Yes,
wisdom.
the wisdom.
Yeah. I would like to point something out, guys.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh.
Ninja Pseudo donated $10 saying, Don, remember the kids? Hashtag MCT, give us a high five.
All right, I will remember the kids. But I'd like to point out on that note, I'm not actually eating the paint. This is going to sound kind of weird. I have a muscle memory knowledge of what the for me the correct viscosity of model paint is.
And you use your tongue to test it?
No, I apply spit to the brush. It's saliva. Yeah, he knows. I load up a little spit. I dab the brush with it, and then I work it so that So it turns out acrylic paint / water-based acrylic paint itself is too viscous for me. Paint mixed with water is too fluid for me. So a little bit of my spit, a little bit of the paint, and I have exactly the right amount of give and viscosity that I need to make this paint work. And what that's over years and years and years of doing it. I work best with a certain viscosity of paint, and kind of intrinsically now over years know exactly how to achieve that viscosity with the acrylic paints.
All right, fine. So I
I'm
will
not
not
eating it. I mean, it's on my tongue. Is it on my tongue?
I will not consider it cheating anymore. Yeah, it's a little dark in the middle.
Yeah.
That's okay. It just shows the dedication. So chat's been
any worse
saying
for you than a sucker.
Right.
no
A lollipop.
Yeah, that stuff's
yeah.
bad. But they're saying it's not cheating if you get caught, and you're not working hard. If you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough.
Exactly right. I agree. I mean, to a degree. Like if you're like sports cheating for money, then maybe not.
Yeah. Okay, I got the question here. I love that Mr. Weisman is turning several of the old FAFSA products as computer games, and I was wondering if, as long as the term, if they were considering bringing back any of the other ones, namely Earth Dawn and Renegade Legion.
Wow. Well, never say never. But I will say that probably not in the near term. Earth Dawn has been reissued in paper form, and with some beautiful additions, and I think from my old partner Ross Babcock at FASA has put out new editions of Earth Dawn, and they look great, and I think it'd be great to go play them on tabletop. I don't see, at least in the near term, getting to either of those properties on computer. That said, boy, would I love to do grav tanks. I did, which is what Renegade Legion had, a bunch of great grav tanks and ships. And okay, so here's today's old game trivia. The Renegade Legion game system I wrote originally all for Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah, I was
Whoa.
I was negotiating and thought I had successfully negotiated to get the Star Wars role-playing game license, and so I developed all those games for Star Wars, and then didn't end up getting a license, but we liked the game systems. We thought they had something cool to offer, so invented the Renegade Legion property and brought them out. Adapted them for that new fiction. But there was some fun stuff, but yeah, I don't think as much as I'd love to, I don't think those are near term. Near term being like the next 5 years kind of thing.
Okay.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Aw. All right, so guys, I'm trying to keep up with questions in chat. So if you guys, I don't mind, and I'm gonna make sure they don't mind if you double post a question. Please feel free, because I want to be able to ask all the questions you are asking. In order to do that, because you guys are awesomely chatty, which we love, put it again until I read it. I really do want to make sure everyone gets your question. So any other questions that you have, please bring them up.
So you'll notice now I'm adding another color, another base color, this sort of gray.
Which looks awesome.
Yeah, under or over the black. But I'm also not putting it on too thickly, so I'm allowing some of that black to stick through. And I'll just iterate color lightness.
Yeah.
Another question for Jordan, real quick. Is Jordan going to make a guest appearance as an enemy or temporary ally at Death from Above?
All things are possible. Would love to do so one day. We'll see where that goes with Tyler, and but yes, I think that's entirely possible one day. That would be a great deal of fun.
I'd like to point out, guys who are watching, if any of you are interested in me painting watching right now, this isn't about me, this is about Jordan. I'm stealing from Jordan. He gave me an idea, and I'm actually using your edge methodology, and it's incredibly powerful and fast for mechs. So I totally stole that from you. And I'm getting right in there and doing the details with the edge here, as opposed to using one of my fine detail brushes, which is really great.
It does work quickly.
It works really well, so thank you. I'm gonna go home and wig out a little bit that I just stole from the creator of BattleTech.
No, my gift. No stealing involved.
He gave me a gift.
You're not spamming. You're helping me because I have to keep a track of things. So you're not spamming or annoying me. Keep the questions coming. I love you, chat. Do we love chat?
We do love chat.
We're just very chatty people here, and so we have a lot to say about everything you're doing. So
we apologize about the lack of eye contact, but we're kind of looking at.
It's the painting part of the painting thing.
Exactly.
Don's been eating too much paint. So what I'm doing is I'm your voice guy, so you can even make me say funny things. Go ahead, try it. I dare you.
I think somebody said something funny about how what I was saying about applying the viscosity was exactly like something somebody addicted to eating paint would say, to justify it.
Change the name of the
you shut up! You don't know anything. What you're talking about? I can quit anytime. I can stop now. I'm stopping.
No one's going to stop you from eating paint because I feel like that's what makes you,
right.
And that is a very special thing.
Yeah. Totally. That's exactly right.
All right, so we got favorite clan mechs.
Favorite clan mechs? Well, I've learned a long time ago, when someone asks you, who's your favorite child? You don't answer that question.
No, never.
You never answer that
There's
question.
somebody waiting with a sniper on the ridge when you answer that question.
And the psychiatrist bills just go skyrocketing when you answer that. And so I've learned to adopt the same kind of approach to what's my favorite mech. There are mechs that kind of that I would describe as having memorable points in the timeline of development of the game. That doesn't necessarily mean they're my favorite mech, but just that their point in development was more memorable.
Can you regale us with one of those tales?
I could. So
this is all just for my personal edification now. I want this.
So there's a mech called the Hatchet Man, which is a mech with this, as you would expect, giant hatchet. That was designed by Dwayne Luce, who's a great industrial designer who was working in Detroit and on cars and all that kind of good stuff until I got him to throw his career away and work with us in games. And he was working, did a lot of the early battle mech and BattleTech design. And then later went on to be art director for the CNC series for a long time too.
Wow.
So yeah, he was a great guy in the industry for a long time and still is. Anyway, but when we were working, so the Hatchet Man was the first non-Japanese inspired mech that we had designed. And
of course it's the dude with the hatchet. Exactly. Subtlety out the window.
What's wrong with a hatchet?
We are Americans after all.
Right, exactly.
I like that because it was the first one that kind of, for me, captured. I'm not sure if it was it captured kind of a unique look that we were able to work with. And then later, actually, the Mad Cat was which was a much later, the cockpits that you were talking about.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't, which generation of cockpits were?
I have no idea. I didn't know there were generations.
What did it look like?
It was ovoid.
Ovoid. Okay.
Like an egg, but thinner, like a squished egg.
Yeah.
It had you lean back.
They were called the Tesla series.
Is that what they were called? I had no idea. You kind of lean back. You had two screens, right? You had the screen here and then your other screen. You had all your flips and switches and the whole line. It was really great.
Go ahead.
So I am noticing that as I paint this, I am having trouble keeping to like just the little sections, just because I'm new to this. Now,
Right.
is that ever going to present a problem in the future, or do you want to make sure to do light paint that can get covered up by dark paint?
Yeah, ideally,
First.
because paint is not truly opaque, right? Obviously darker colors are more opaque than lighter colors, but and so you always want to try to cover a lighter color with a darker color. So that was like, in some of these I've had to do multiple coats to try to cover darker ones, but like what you're doing is just fine, because if this bleeds like over onto the side, that's okay. It's lighter than the mauve you're going to put in later.
Mauve.
And then also coming down when you use a flat brush and come down onto the edges of this like this. So see, if you come down the edge like this, you'll be able to pick up and cover any big
Angle it so they can see.
Yeah, so if, let's say, this silver had spilled over onto this edge, which she's done a very good job and it hasn't, or like here, where it spilled over the edge, using the flat brush, you're able to come and cut a pretty clean line along there, or, along these edges of where, like, the armor is. You can bring the brush right nice and flat like that, and clean up any overspill.
Okay, great. And then so we say, someone asked this earlier for Jordan, how big a donation for making Mitch's mech bright pink and sparkly? I don't know.
Well, Mitch doesn't actually have a mech, because he's the mech commander.
Maybe he has
so
one in his garage, and no one knows he has a mech because it's big, pink, and sparkly.
That's right.
We can make him a
He
surprise
doesn't
mech.
realize it's 2016, and he can actually let his sparkly mech fly, bring it out of the closet. No, but so he doesn't actually have one. Otherwise, I would totally do that, and would appreciate donation help to do it. But yeah, nope, he doesn't have one. Sorry, guys.
And people are calling you very Bob Ross of painting right now, which is fantastic.
If only I had like 1/10 the amount of talent that Bob had.
And everyone is very entranced on how Don is like focused.
Yeah, I mean, you put me in
Loving it.
painting mode. I'm going to be in
This
painting
is
mode.
great. And they want you to start a cooking show, it seems. What is it? You want to start a cooking show where you cook with paint?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, well, maybe as a garnish or something like that? Or
No, I'm pretty sure I can make a whole meal out of acrylic paints.
we should totally get a beret that's pink, bright pink, make it bright pink and sparkly to give to Mitch. I think that would be amazing. That's a really good suggestion. Who said that? Where are you? Or 5 buckets for a gallon of acrylic. You can sip on that with a straw while we paint.
Nice.
Or
I think the whole eating paint thing has become its own meme.
It has. I've somehow started a thing when in reality it's funny to say that I'm eating paint, but we're missing the opportunity to point out that really I'm painting with spit. I'm actually just spitting in a bunch of paint and then applying it to a piece of plastic that someone else is going to fondle and use on a show. It's going to be mostly like 80% my spit.
no subtlety at all.
That seems like a
Love
thing
it.
that you could laugh at.
And a great way to transmit disease.
Yeah. Well, come on now. Acrylic paints actually can nullify disease,
Okay,
I think.
I'll buy you that.
I made that up.
Yeah, maybe you could sell it as like if you have an antidote in your DNA or something.
Yeah.
It could be like a cure-all mech or
Right,
something.
totally. Just buy the Mac, lick it.
And people are saying that what is it? You use that to seal in a weathering? Your spit? Really?
No. I use it to.
Or Comcat says they use it to seal in their weathering.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah?
It's legit.
Oh.
Guys, this is not a weird thing. Like this is actually if you get with model painters all the time. When I asked Jordan if the paints were toxic or not, he goes, "No, you can feel free to eat them," because he knew exactly what I was talking about.
Well,
like that's.
And our guest last week did the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh my
it's
god, no,
a-
he ate more paint than Don.
It's just how you paint. If you do this a lot. When I was younger, there was a 2-part epoxy that was famously used to kit bash and build mods to stuff that it turned out was highly carcinogenic. And there were guys, older dudes, like old model guys, who would still chew it to mix it. Even though it was like no, this will give you raging mouth cancer. These guys were like, they're not going to stop me doing my models, and they just pop it in their mouths and start chewing it because their spit plus the 2-part epoxy would make a really malleable epoxy. So I'm not chewing carcinogenic
That's true.
epoxy, guys.
My other
on.
question is, well, not my question. Someone in chat here asked, is this paint vegan? Do we know?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I don't know what
think
the properties of being vegan, like what something needs to have to meet vegan standards. So I don't know. I don't know what acrylic is actually made out of.
I wonder.
No problem putting it right in my mouth, though.
Are there any vegan miniature painters in chat right now?
They
and
can help
have
us
you
with this, yeah.
have you researched it, or does it even count as eating? Or like, I mean, you're consuming it, so I feel like if you're vegan, you would be concerned of anything.
Well, I'm consuming it only as a side effect of applying spit to it.
Okay, of weathering. We're gonna call it
I'm not weathering.
weathering.
I'm not weathering.
No. It's just getting the right viscosity.
Right. The viscosity is super important. It's actually, I'm sure a better painter could paint with any viscosity. I, however, can only paint with my custom spit viscosity. Spitscosity.
People are saying there are
Viscosity.
no animal products, so viscosity.
No animal products. Like, great, eat it. You can eat, we can have a nice vegan paint eat-in.
That's bargaining, Don. You have to accept you have a problem. Says
I love you guys. My favorite guys and gals and people.
Genova,
in
you've been saying some good stuff. People who are uptight about vegan forget that their homes are never vegan. Oh, yeah, let's not get into vegan talk. Let's not get into vegan talk. I regret saying that one out
Get your
loud.
10-foot poles here.
Here, how about this? Back in my modeling days, I just enjoyed the smell of the acetone and other dissolvers. Discovered
Yeah.
they were extremely toxic years later.
Right.
It sounds like most of our childhoods.
Yeah.
Like the other day, Jordan brought out some rubber cement, and my God, I got excited. That scent was just like my childhood came rushing back to me. It was delicious. It was.
Come on, there's nothing really more fun than rubber cement balls, is
Oh
there?
my God, like peeling it off your hands.
Oh yeah.
Well, Elmer's glue
absolutely.
is up there.
The Elmer glue over the whole palm, absolutely. And it was always a challenge. Could you get the entire palm as one piece off?
I when I first came in, I had to prime these guys, and it's an immediate visceral response to my childhood, like with the cardboard box outside in the rain, priming little models. It's like that's what I grew up doing.
Yeah.
It's the world to me.
I want to ask you guys back there, Zach or Joe, how many subs are we away from giving away a Steam key? Because a reminder, guys, every 10 subs we get, we give away a Steam key.
Do we know what the Steam key is yet, or is that?
Oh, hold on. Go ahead.
We need 6 more.
6 more, guys. 6 more subs, and we give away a Steam key. What's the Steam key for, Joseph?
That'll be a nice little surprise.
Oh! It's going to
cool
be a
game.
surprise.
That's what it's for. It's a cool game.
And a reminder
Tell us
that...
more about your cool game.
Star Mazer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Star Mazer is a retro, sexy point-and-click shoot 'em up in space. It is both a point-and-click adventure game and a horizontal scrolling shooter game. You can check it out at starmazer.com. That's STARRMAZER. There's 2 R's.
2 R's.
Twice as many R's as any other Star game. You should check it out. It's in a cool pixel style with incredible art. It's got over 28 musicians, including Vert from Shovel Knight and Manami Matsumai from the Mega Man series.
Wow.
Making music for it. Like I said, 28 of them. The Proto Men are making music for it.
What? I didn't know about
They're
that.
making the end title credits with a big animation and stuff. I'm not supposed to say that. I'm leaking information. Hopefully nobody's watching.
Privileged image.
But yeah, no, it's a cool game. We're also releasing a sister game to Star Mazer this summer, late summer, called Star Mazer DSP, which is an action game, an action horizontal scrolling shooter that takes place 130 years before Star Mazer, and uses a lot of the Star Mazer action engine. Another team, Pixel Jam, who's a friend of my company, Imago Softworks, they are actually producing Star Mazer DSP under my direction. So that's coming to your face. So is Star Mazer. So check it out. We had a successful Kickstarter in 2015, and we are well on our way to releasing a cool game for your face.
You have so many amazing people. Like, I heard about Star Mazer because of friends of mine who are going to be working, or who are working on it, and I'm super stoked for it to come out. I have pictures, oh my god, what's his name again? Freaking, swoopy hair, blonde, your dude. The freaking main character. Why am I forgetting on
Brick M. Stonewood?
Brick.
You forgot Brick M. Stonewood? The M stands for metal?
Like, I have photos with him, okay?
Yeah, we have a guy. So it's fully voice acted, and we actually have the actor who plays him is actually playing him in a number of live action assets, and he's a cool dude. and we have a nice blonde haircut with him.
He's really nice and awesome.
Yeah.
And then also, guys in chat, if someone could be kind enough, I would really like a straw poll of Elmer's glue versus rubber cement, and I want to know all of your opinions. What would you two say?
What? We need more detail.
Yeah, like what do you mean?
I don't-
Like for what
In
purpose?
what? For
No,
just
just
like
like
screwing
for
around
eating?
fun, or
For eating?
No, Don, not everything is about eating. Please think of your children, right, chat?
Oh.
We care about your children, wherever they are.
or wherever they will be?
Yeah, the implications here are terrifying. Like, I do not have a bunch of kids somewhere. That's not cool, man. I eventually want to have some kids, and I don't want those kids to be confused about what the internet said a couple years ago.
Oh my god, they're gonna be confused about their lives soon. But no, in general, Elmer's glue versus rubber cement. I want to see some. Who's got?
But we need context here. Like,
I mean,
in
do you
terms of
need context?
in terms of playing with it or using it for different applications?
I feel like just in general, like when someone says Elmer's glue or rubber cement, where does your heart lean towards?
So we have to choose one at this
You
point.
just-
You're telling us to choose between Elmer's glue and rubber cement.
Yeah,
I reject your challenge.
well, you can't do that.
This is called blocking in improvisation.
I don't approve of this. No, you have to pick. Like, okay, what if I were to put like a pistol to your head and said you had to pick one?
I would be like, "Are you asking me which one you want me to eat?"
And I'd be like, just pick one.
Does this remind you of the Monty Python sketch where it's about, African or European?
Yeah.
The swallow.
Oh, and then here we've got a question in chat. This goes out to all of you. What is your favorite snack to eat while playing games?
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh, okay, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
It depends on the game, honestly.
Yeah, okay, do tell.
I really like eating Twizzlers when I play Legend of Dungeon. I really like eating yogurt-covered pretzels when playing Skyrim. And then when I play Minecraft, I really like eating, what is it, everything? I've been eating a lot of Thin Mints lately.
So
What about you
Viking
guys?
Lass, I have a question.
Yes?
When you're playing Legend of Dungeon, you're playing as Brick, right?
Yeah, sure.
Of course you are.
Sure. Yeah, as I always do.
You should.
I definitely
He starts with
do.
a pistol, and nobody else starts with a pistol.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't played in a bit.
Oh.
But, one time I ate an entire pound of Twizzlers while playing Legend of Dungeon.
That's so odd that you link your snacking to this specific game.
Yeah,
Well,
that was much more specific than I anticipated.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like Skyrim, it's like Skyrim, you're running around having adventures and stuff, and you need, you only have moments when you can. Well, actually, Skyrim you can pause and the world freezes, so you can eat whatever whenever. But there are games when you can't do that. So you have to have things that like you can put in your mouth and eat as you're playing, which Twizzlers are great for.
Okay, can
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah. Cookies, yeah, I eat cookies. Good night, Red One. We'll see you tomorrow.
Goodbye,
Thanks
Red
for
One.
watching.
Puck's favorite snack is the
Yeah, go
tears
for
of
it.
his fallen enemies.
That's nice. So
He eats the tears of his fallen enemy.
this is what I'm doing so far, guys. Lots of
Great
effort,
answer.
but I'm trying to get a nice grade there. And I'm going to start adding blue next. I'm kind of going faster than I normally would go, but it's still slower than everyone else.
Have you
I tried to
seen what
knock
I've
out
got
all
going
these
on here?
in a matter of days
Sure.
for the show, so I'm only kind of like speed painting and everything. So I would say the one thing I've learned not to eat during playing any type of game is Cheetos, because your hands. And I don't care if you're playing, rolling dice or using a controller.
Hyper Rabbit Power
Go!
Go!
I would suggest chopsticks for Cheetos.
For Cheetos?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. This is
awesome.
This is nerd skills, man.
Yeah, that's.
Chopsticks for Cheetos.
Real quick, go ahead.
We got a donation from Don's son. Like father.
Oh,
Son, think of me and stop eating pain.
I love it. I have a son.
It's going on the
I
floor!
love you, son. I
son
need you
you've
to
never known.
Yeah, I need you to follow in my footsteps and
And eat paint.
eat paint.
Father, please think of me and stop eating paint.
I'm thinking of you while eating paint. It's a thing.
So you know what else is I've just figured out is really hard is to paint towards the camera.
Yeah, I've been really happy that I can just every once in a while update and be like, look what I got.
Yeah, because this
I wish I had a camera. Now he's like, haha, I don't have a camera.
No, I still wish I had a camera.
but Joe's going to work on that. Joe's going to get a third
Hopefully,
camera, right,
we'll
Joe?
see.
Next
We'll
week.
share. We're
we
good at
went
sharing.
went from one camera to two this week. So.
I was told, I was like, so they both have cameras, and I was told, well, she's the host, and he's the creator of BattleTech, And the implication there is
Deal with it.
That you didn't
I'm
rank?
like nobody.
No, my friend.
There's a hierarchy here, and I am stepping on your face. No, I'm kidding.
It's a,
Here, have some chocolate.
Oh,
we're
chocolate.
friends.
Oh,
Who
look
wants
at that.
chocolate? Oh, friendship chocolate. It's the best kind of chocolate.
I've got my meal
I'm
scheduled
a
right
milk
now. I'm
chocolate
good.
guy, not a dark chocolate guy.
Do you see this? They just rejected my friendship. Therefore, we have begun a battle. I'm going to give you guys crackers so that your spit gets soaked up in them and you can't paint.
No!
Boom!
I'm the worst.
Ooh, that's devious.
That was really good, guys. A reminder, all donations are going towards all the companies that were affected this morning by the explosion in Seattle.
Yeah, there's
So-
a GoFundMe that we're going to donate these donations to. So any donation going to us today is going to the GoFundMe account, or GoFundMe page rather, which will help those local businesses who were devastated by the gas explosion last night.
So thank you so much for everything you're doing. And also,
Gas explosion.
we're adding to this board, which actually, so chat, you guys are going to be helping. I need you to help me out with this. Figuring out things with the show. I'm kind of liking this board thing in the back. Are you guys liking it? I think it'd be fun to fill this up every week. Find a place where we can hang this up. So this would be all your subs and whatnot. And then every week we paint a new one. Would you guys like that? Because then you could give me new things to draw on there. Like my terrible Tina. Look at her. She looks like she went through puberty or something and got stretched out. I don't know what happened. But I'm just saying.
It's a tough life.
It is. So chat, you guys, your input matters to me a lot. So
To us all.
Yeah, to all of us. Because this is fun. Who's got some more questions for everyone? Yes, you can all have my chocolate except for these two. So don't even bother asking that, chat. Of course you can have some of my chocolate.
I believe I've just been put in a two-man club with the creator of BattleTech. I am so happy right now.
But you didn't even reject the chocolate.
Oh, screw your chocolate, April Ness.
We have a question. Swords versus guns. Which one do you prefer to use in a game? Basically, Elder Scrolls versus Call of Duty. For me,
Well, you can't compare though. I mean, you can't say that. Like, those are two different. Like, there are Fallout has guns, and it is not Call of Duty. You can't just like. Call of Duty is a weighted thing, right? Like, if you say Call of Duty, people are gonna think nothing but Twitch, not Twitch TV, Twitch gaming, not Twitch TV gaming, but Twitch playstyle, Twitchy gaming, Mountain Dew. Call of Duty, that thing. By the way, I think my favorite snack. We didn't all answer, did we?
no.
No,
We're
go for
a
it.
chatty bunch, and I love it. What is your favorite snack?
I think, after giving it much thought, I think it has to be cheese curds.
Cheese
Wait,
curds.
now
Like
my
squeaky
question.
cheese curds.
Quick question: what do you use to deliver the
Chopsticks.
cheese? There we go.
Yeah, that's what it has to be.
Which is why you knew to recommend the cheese. The
Once
chopsticks
you try the
for my
chopsticks with
Cheetos.
anything, you realize you can use them with everything. So,
Well, interesting.
like anytime you need to use your hands, painting or playing games or whatever, and you need to deliver some stuff to your mouth, chopsticks are a great option. I would go with guns, with the caveat that they have to be creative. Unreal Tournament style guns, not just like repro modern guns. That's my vote.
I mean, I love shooting guns. Guns are freaking awesome, but I love to me it's almost like of course I relate everything to art. It's like using a tablet versus using pen and paper. Like I love that I can feel exactly the direct impact of my pencil on the paper, but at the same time, guns lead to so many possibilities the same way that a tablet does, because it's just like you can shoot so far away, but there's that disconnect of feeling the target.
So
it's
like, effectively,
I'm kind of torn between
when you're
the two.
murdering somebody, you need to be right up in there murdering somebody.
Look, they don't call me Viking Lass for nothing. I'm just saying. And now everyone's going crazy about poutine. Good job.
Dude, poutine is the way, the truth, and the light! I have seen the light, I have gone to Vancouver, and I never, internally, my soul, still in Vancouver, eating poutine right now.
I will visit Vancouver at some point in my life, and I will bring Tums, like gallons and crates of Tums so I can try it, because I had my gallbladder out, so...
Oh.
Yeah, I can't eat too many greasy, gross things, which sucks.
That is unfortunate.
Poutine is magic. And sword games usually do have magic, that's very true.
True.
Question for Jordan. Do you have any updates on Sprawl Gangers?
the fictional Sprawl Gangers or the old game Sprawl Gangers?
Specify for me, RoboCop Scum Mad. And we will
That's
ask
like the
him.
second best name all day, I've heard.
RoboCop Gone Mad?
There's some really good screen names in here.
I'm not seeing them, unfortunately, as I am paying attention to my meals. I'm sorry, my paint job.
I think it's very good that you pay attention to your nutrition so much. Do different colors have different nutritional value?
I know that red paint, like red acrylic paint, tastes like foul. And I don't know what the reason is. I'm
Foul
sure.
as in chicken or foul as in
By
bad?
Scottish
Foul as
Gamma.
in gross. That's funny.
Just chicken.
Yeah. So
Wasn't
red,
sure if
red
it was
paint
a-
tastes like everything.
Come on, think of your children.
If it was
no.
a Matrix reference,
Right,
you know.
right. Like tasty wheat. Red paint tastes like tasty wheat.
See, Mondor, the reason why I'm asking you guys that is because you say Zach's in charge of things, but if you guys really want something, it's going to help me with what I want to encourage Zach. Haha. I'm on to you, Zach. I know how to work this. That's right. I want the butts board, as you guys have so affectionately named it. I like that. I think that I'm going to push for this to be a thing, the butts board. And if you guys want it too, I bet we can make it happen. Right, Sir Clicks-a-Lot? And by the way, we have to refer to Zach as Sir Clicks-a-Lot for the rest of the day. I'm just saying.
But actually, isn't that a screen name? Somebody is already Sir Cook-Sauce.
Can someone check and see if that's a thing?
I think it was in response to our
Oh, okay.
referring
I
to-
I started calling him Sir Clicks-a-Lot when he
Right.
walked out here.
Right, and I think somebody took that.
Oh, they
due-
did?
due
Yes.
to our use.
Go chat. Oh, I love chat. Someone said Don is rad. Chum Chum Jim says you are rad.
Thank you, Chum Chum Jim. I think you are rad as well, mostly because you said I was rad, but check it out. I'm sure in real life, you and I could be rad buds together. I am doing this sort of, this is where I'm going. You see this? Sort of.
Very cool. Look, show them that.
Yeah, there's a thing. This is all kind of muted right now, but once I start adding, these are all undercoats. So the next color I'm going to add, guys, is this blue here, and it's going to be pretty awesome, but I'm doing the undercoats right now.
I'm just painting things silver because I'm learning. That's all I got. What are you adding onto yours right now?
Oh, I'm just going through and kind of just cleaning up bit by bit. Right now I'm doing the gunmetal in a couple of places, hitting all the railings and things like that. And the barrels and stuff like that. The hand. And then go through and start to do some last cleanup, going back and hitting up some of the colors that were overwashed into areas where one color should not be touching another color.
There's some interesting moment you come to in making mechs or other mechanical models, and you're painting them. When you
And
finish,
eating them.
April's
got the jokes.
when you get to the point where you've completed the paint job as the perfect paint job, and you're like, cool, it looks really cool and stellar, but this is a thing that walks around and fights in the real world. Now I have to go screw it up.
Exactly.
And then you spend all this time, like a whole other paint process, screwing up the mech.
Yep.
Which is, it's fun in its own right, but there's that moment where you have the perfect, like it just came off the production line.
Right. Often
kind
good
of-
to get a photo.
Yeah,
photo
oh
of
yeah,
them.
yeah. And then screw it up. And then you have somebody who doesn't play games say, why didn't you just leave it like that? It looks so much cooler like that.
Well, but I prefer weathered stuff. I think weathered because the weathering to me is what makes it look real. You know what I mean? When it's all like pristine colors, it looks more like a toy.
Right, true.
And this is something mechs are kind of prevalent to begin with, is that they can look like toys unless you treat them carefully. And that's actually a big factor in making video games about mechs, is to constantly reinforce their scale. Otherwise, they come off very toyetic. And on doing the figures, same thing. I mean, that's like being able, for instance, like when you're weathering dirt from the bottom, because the steps, you get that wash of dirt coming from the bottom up towards the top, and you can actually change some of the weathering coloring so that to reflect the way that the dirt flows up the thing as it steps. And again, you can look at like a lot of big industrial equipment for guidance on that, for how that kind of thing happens in real life.
Yeah.
So do you guys do a lot of research looking online for... Well, actually, this is interesting. I asked Jordan about this one time before. Before Google, it's weird that that's a thing. What did
It
you
was,
do?
guys. There was a world before Google.
What did you do to look up weathering techniques, or like when you were painting mechs? What did you use for reference?
Actually, when I made up BattleTech and Shadowrun and all that kind of stuff, there was no.
Can I pause you for just 1 second? Who else? When I made up BattleTech, that's the best thing.
Like
I get to be here for that.
Tap cigar.
When I made up BattleTech.
No big deal.
Didn't mean it to come out that way.
No, I'm not saying it came out wrong. I'm saying it came out awesome. I wish one day I could say I made up something that affected
look
whole
at,
people.
Look at your game now. You're making a whole mythos. And
yes.
multiple games in that mythos.
True,
See, that's very cool.
but they're not BattleTech.
Well, but BattleTech
No one
wasn't
will have an ovoid pod to play Star Mazer.
BattleTech wasn't BattleTech when it came out.
All right, that's fair.
It was just another game.
I shall leave you to your story, sir.
Anyway,
When you made up BattleTech,
all I was saying is that
when you brought from the ether BattleTech.
No, actually, what I was going to say, where I brought it from was Encyclopedia Britannica, because that was like the font of knowledge in that era, and so when I'd be working on the alternate histories for those games, I would have like 20 different books open on the floor with post-it note, or sometimes actually like string connecting different books and passages and books together, remind me that I was kind of leveraging one piece of fiction into another, or one series of facts to another.
Right.
Bless you.
So, thank you. So that was pre-internet. And in terms of paint patterns or painting stuff, there was these in the old day. There was these things called magazines.
Wait, how do you pronounce that?
Magazine.
I've heard zine before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard
is this
Yeah.
the precursor?
Are you
to the
sure
word
in
zine?
your not that much older than me old age you haven't forgotten that it's actually
That's
just
actually
zine
just
and
zines.
it's online?
It is possible, but we used to actually sell these door to door.
Oh, wow.
Like Girl Scouts do cookies. Anyway, but the
That's so true. They used to come to the door to sell magazines.
yeah.
I
And
remember
encyclopedias.
Zoo books? Who remembers zoo books?
I had zoo books.
I didn't have zoo books.
books.
I wanted that tiger poster so bad, and I never got it.
But magazines that were kind of model railroading magazines, and which there still are some, were great references because they faced all the same challenges as you do for gaming. You know, how to paint and make things look big when they're actually small, and so they were always great fonts of technique.
So effectively kit bashing the knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of like paints, things like Jane's big books like Jane's Fighting Vehicles would be great catalogs of what actual tanks and ships and planes look like, and that's where you would steal all your ideas for how to make something look militaristic.
Huh?
Dearest Nice says, there are these buildings called libraries. These mystical buildings have books and other reference material containing knowledge about
They were
all
magical
subjects.
places.
I don't
Absolutely.
believe you.
I
Magical
actually,
places.
because I've been moving a lot lately, and my mom, she's like, have you found the library there yet? And I'm like, no. How are you, my daughter? You haven't found the library. I do miss hanging out at libraries, and like, I love looking through books. Like, I love drawing creatures and monsters, and I love looking up fish especially, and just going to a library and finding books on benthic fish and just sitting and drawing, copying the picture. Like, I need, you know what? Guys, you have full permission to harass me on Twitter to ask if I've gone to a library this week. I really should go.
Libraries are awesome.
They are.
Oh damn.
So
When
I actually.
you finish with the color and then you clean your brushes and then you go,
Oh, I need that color.
I just missed all the spots that I needed to do with that one.
Yeah.
I hate that.
As far as learning technique for weathering and that sort of thing, I guess I cheated a little. I was really.
He cheated. Did you hear that? He cheated. He's trying to get ahead.
That's what we're supposed to do. We learned earlier that cheating is actually the way to do it.
Cheating is
So
good.
you're
cheating's
trying
good.
hard.
No,
Okay, fine.
yeah, exactly. What I did was I actually looked at other people's painting of miniatures.
Absolutely.
Because you can learn all you want. In my mind, it was that you could learn all you want about how things in reality actually look, but how to translate that to the scale of miniatures, just like you were saying with the kit bashing and everything.
Yeah.
There's a technique that other people have learned, and as an ex-programmer, the DRY methodology, don't repeat yourself methodology, is really important to me. watching how somebody else did a thing, and if you were into Warhammer, there was their White Dwarf magazine.
Absolutely.
Had a lot of painting tutorials, and it doesn't matter what you're painting. These are guys who did minis and did really well at it. And you look at the winners of the Golden Demon or whatever, and see what their technique is, and just crib the hell out of that and try to do the best you can. What's cool about that is all the technique in the world will never equal talent or hours put into skill. So even though you're stealing their technique, the skill you're using, you're learning and growing. So learning how to paint minis is different from learning how to paint larger vehicles, even if they're both meant to look like they're weathered. They're different techniques entirely. So I actually just cribbed other dudes who were painting minis.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's why, like, Fine Scale Modeler, which was a magazine of historical miniatures, was huge. I was religious of that magazine, you know. And going to cons and seeing other people's work and talking to them.
But it's like, so, like, nowadays, like, there's the beauty of YouTube where you can learn how to do pretty much anything you want.
Anything on the planet.
So,
it's amazing.
All of these painting techniques you've picked up, are they things that you've created yourself or learned from other people that created them themselves?
Oh, I don't think I invented anything. In terms of...
Except for Battletech and Shadowrun, no big deal though.
But, well, you know, even those are... blatantly ripped off from different parts of history,
ripped
combined
off
together.
from everything.
But no, I don't think every technique I learned from someone else. Like for instance, I was talking about Dwayne Luce earlier. So I do all these foam core models where I use foam core to make all sorts of stuff and made huge things. And I learned all my foam core technique from Dwayne, who had learned it all at industrial when he was studying industrial design, because it was a major tool for industrial designers. Oh.
If there were tiny little miniature paint rollers, would you use those to paint anything?
What I would use, and I should be using on things this large, is an airbrush.
I was actually bringing my airbrush today, and then I realized there was probably a big setup, which there was here at the show, and it would probably interfere with the extant setup. But if possible to bring an airbrush, I probably would next time.
Absolutely.
Zach mentioned an airbrush beforehand, so that might be a possibility.
I do own I own two. I own the official Citadel bolt gun airbrush that looks like a bolt gun and is completely fucking useless. But I also have an incredible professional airbrush that I use for painting models as well.
That would be cool.
I would have been done with all of these steps so far had I
Absolutely.
my
I had one many years ago, but I don't anymore. So I didn't. But it would be great to have one here for this kind of stuff.
We have a question, and that is, where is it? How can we get you guys to paint the dragon mech in Death from Above, painted in bright neon colors?
Well, so this is the dragon mech, which I don't know if I'm going to get to during the show, but which means I just have to do it tonight instead. Let's see, I'm pushing them up here. So the dragon in the show is that's this big one here. I don't know which camera's on, but the character story is that it's a stolen Krita mech, and so he wanted it. AJ is no, that's not AJ. But they wanted it in the kind of standard Krita colors. So the only way to get me to paint this into bright neon anything is to convince the pilot that that's what she wants, and then I am but her servant. But what I will be doing tonight is, you see all the damages of where the lasers melted in and the drill bits cut into it. That's what I'll be putting patches on tonight, because they did repair the armor in the RPG session last night. So I'll be doing what I did to AJ's mech with those little patches and dry brushing all that kind of stuff up tonight.
I love how we're kind of like the ER for the mechs, and I've been wanting to call myself Dr. Ness on the show, or Dr. Lass, because they come in all damaged and we make them all look pretty and gorgeous. And what's this about? Pork chop being written on one of them? Is that something?
I don't know.
We got pew pew pew. Someone said something about pork chop.
There's EXO and E. I mean, you guys did this last week. I didn't do any of these, so I wrote all the stuff on here.
So for me, I recently just this past few days, I drove from Arizona up here to help a friend move, so I'm a bit behind on things. I need to catch up. See, everyone's saying pork chop. I gotta learn. Dr. McLassy. I do like that.
Guys, I have here. These are my my wet palette post paint pages, I'd like to inform you that the highest donator by the end of the show will actually have these mailed to him or her, whether or not he or she wants them. Covered in my spit. They belong to you. Start a bidding war now. Remember, all the money will go to helping out local businesses, which is way more important than getting something with my spit on it. But if you want something with my spit on it, that's not my tongue, you should donate now.
Yeah.
And once again, those donations go towards all the businesses that have been sadly affected by the giant explosion in Seattle this morning. So, also, you can make me write butts on the board, which I am obviously not opposed to. I'm just saying. Or, someone wants us to use a Zippo lighter for flamer damage. Is this paint flammable?
No. But yeah, we've considered all sorts of alternatives for damage, and that will be an evolving thing as we kind of get further into the show, and the executioner role of how damage is applied gets further.
Oh, got it. Connor's mech is now dubbed Pork Chop and should bear its name. Got it. I'm actually going to be catching up on everything I've missed tonight and tomorrow, because I want to keep up on the story of everything that's going on.
I thought they hadn't
guys.
determined Connor's mech's name yet.
Apparently they did. Pork Chop. It's been, dubbed Pork Chop. Sup?
Joe, is that you?
Hello? Sir Clicky Clacks? Joe. Oh, it's Joe.
Connor's spiked. Everyone starts calling him Pork Chop in the show. And
Oh, that's what it
the character
is.
hates it, so everyone keeps doing it.
Everyone keep calling him Pork Chop. You keep that up. Hey, Clicky.
Uh-oh, he's got his stern impression on.
He's got a number.
No, I'm a real big fan of setting you up with a canvas before the show and saying you should paint things for people that donate and subscribe, and then you just draw on it with markers. I could have just got you, like a dry erase board
Well,
instead of
you got me
a canvas.
Is this a priority?
What, you finishing that?
Yeah, because it's obviously probably not.
No, there's not.
So I can paint on the board.
Yeah.
Guys, I want to paint on the board. Who wants to help me paint
But
on the board?
We should
For a
get. I
good
mean,
cause.
these are not really the right paints for that. I mean, we can.
Look at him,
We
not
can
me.
fake
Look
it.
at him while he's talking.
Names.
Ah,
The
okay.
paint, you know?
We can.
They
fake-
asked me to write butts, and Ollie is a name. Paradigm Shift. Sir Clicks a lot. That's your name.
All right. No, I get it. Just maybe we should have done a dry erase board.
Well, I want
Look
to make
at
it more
that.
pretty.
Oh, there we go.
Here, give me a big old brush.
Yeah.
Now
you
it's
want a bigger
serving
one?
its purpose.
There you go.
Who
Oh,
wants
here-
their
here's-
name on the board? Someone subscribe.
here's
Here
one.
we go. There we
Here's
go.
that one. That's all.
Is it okay for me to use one of these paints?
Yeah, those would be more appropriate.
Oh, we have the paints for it too. Joe,
And you
let us know.
You got
more.
orange and you got blue.
About
Oh, wait.
butts.
There's blue.
Hey, donation.
Wait, I heard that. Butts. It said something about butts. Joe?
That was a $100 donation from Rabbit Wombat.
Wow. Whoa! All right.
Rabbit Wombat!
We should yell the thing.
Yes. Hyper Rabbit.
Go!
Go! Thank you for that. The businesses
Wow.
will deeply appreciate it.
Seriously.
And Rock, who cares about butts?
Butts. See, they still want the butts.
Who cares about butts?
Oh, you know what? With a $100 donation, I can't
but
argue.
do you know, it all comes down to punctuation. It's who cares about butts or who cares about butts. Where was the punctuation?
He's got a point there, guys. 'Cause
Also, I think you're
punctuation-
the front runner for those pieces of paper with my spit all over them. It's coming
Which
to
I'm
you.
sure that was the motivating factor.
That was. You notice I said
Absolutely
it, and then
positive.
$100 showed up, guys.
That's true.
I was like, you can
You
get
can't-
a pallet with
you
my
can't
spit.
argue with success.
And after I announced the pallet with my spit, $100 has showed up.
Spit on the camera, Don. No, don't
I'm
spit
not
on the
gonna spit on
camera.
those are expensive cameras. I'm not spitting on the camera
This guy-
with
this
Zach
guy-
in the room.
This guy knows.
Look,
He
you're
makes-
saying
he
Zach
makes-
hating on
he makes
the stop
films.
hating on the butts board. It's evolving and growing. Right, guys? We love the butt. Who loves the butts board? Let me see some hype in chat if you love the butts. The butts board.
MTL Snowman,
the
I'd like
butts
to
shop.
answer your question. If I'm on the show again, which hopefully happens,
We would love to have you
I would
every
be
week.
bringing my airbrush, and I will be airbrushing the rest of this guy so that I can go more quickly and show you guys better effects. Because right now I'm making some progress, but it's slow going because I'm doing base coats, and I pay a lot of attention to my work, maybe a little bit too much for a show. So I'll definitely bring an airbrush and kick some airbrush arse for you dudes.
Gamer Blue X would like to know what's the biggest mech.
physically the biggest mech is the Atlas, who's not here. He's over on the side.
He's got a big skull-looking thing. It's awesome. That's what I would use in the pods, the Atlas, because it's intimidating as hell. It's slow, but you can just devastate. You got the whole Itano circus going on with the missiles coming out of that.
Yeah.
This guy. Actually, there's a picture already on the internet of me with this guy, because this guy is incredible. The Atlas is awesome. Look at that guy. And the skull is unique, and you can see it on the battlefield. If you're in one of them, if you're playing BattleTech, if you're in one of those pods or whatever, you can see this guy from far away because of his white skull. I want this. I mean, I want one that I can paint. I like this guy.
We can make that happen.
Guys, I'm gonna make a sad butt on the board because Rabid Wombat is making me sad with the who cares about butts.
What?
Who wants to make me happy and donate towards a good cause for butts? Give me another reason to put butts back on the board.
It was Renraku, not who cares. Renraku. Renraku cares about butts.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
Now, and Renraku is one of the corporations from Shadowrun, and so there's a.
So we've got the support of Renaku on our side for the butts board. Do you hear that, Zach? Butts board.
Zach's getting voted down with the butt style.
Come on, guys. We need you. We need all your hashtag pro butts. Butts board or bust. Don for hey!
What?
Hey, no. Aw.
What did it say?
Nothing.
Is it bad?
Yeah.
Oh.
Butts. I think butts should be the winner for that.
What kind of airbrush do you have? I don't actually know the make of my airbrush. I've forgotten. I've had it for a long time, but it was at the time considered the best one. So I will bring it in and show you guys. I used it back before I was making games and movies for a living.
Yeah, exactly.
I used it a lot, so I'll bring it in and show it off, and you guys can tell me how I'm using it wrong.
See, I think you're probably like me, which is, we actually got involved in making games and building companies, and then this goes by the wayside for a while, and
then you find an opportunity like this,
exactly,
which is awesome. So we're in the same boat, totally. I'm so excited that I can be doing this. I've been waiting for this for a long time. I like that I can do this.
Much fun.
Quick announcement for all of those watching that don't know, but probably do know because you're all diehards that are here with us all day, but there might be a couple new people watching. If you like that logo you see in the top left, we currently have our shirts on sale on Teespring. If you scroll down on the channel page, you'll see a link. We have men's sizes, women's sizes. We have a hoodie available, lots of different colors. It's our logo on the front, and on the back it has our address, twitch.tv/hyperrpg, and then it says Chase the Rabbit. So hop on that, guys. We've only got three days left for that shirt sale. It's a limited edition run. Help us hit our goal. Get those shirts.
Yeah, and it helps keep the channel up and running. So I'll greatly appreciate it.
Yes, it is. Someone has so go get that shirt. I need to go get that shirt. I haven't done that yet. I'm slowly coming back into real life after road trip.
Wait, does this count as real life?
I don't know, honestly.
So tell me about like a cool film you guys just made.
We released a film in 2013 called Motivational Growth. You guys can check that out at Devolver Digital Films if you want, or you can check it out on Steam or GOG.com. Oh, nice. Hyper Rabbit Power, go! So, Motivational Growth is the story of a gentleman named Ian who...
hold on.
One sec.
$10 donation if I'm victorious. The only corp that truly cares about butts is #AsTechnology.
Oh! I need to be putting these on here.
The pyramid people speak.
Oh!
So the gag for Motivational Growth is it's a young gentleman who attempts suicide. He's depressed, but he fails and wakes up face to face with a chunk of fungus that is talking to him. It's been growing in his bathroom, and it's an incredibly disgusting fungus, voiced by Jeffrey Combs.
Really?
Who, by the way, was in Robot Jocks. Who's also Herbert West 3 animator. He's also in Star Trek, both Enterprise and Deep Space Nine, if you're a big fan. But anyway, it's a pretty cool little film. It's a twisted, dark comedy fantasy movie. and it was the first narrative feature film on Steam. So we're kind of proud of
Really?
that.
That's
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's so cool.
That's our movie. So you should check that out on Steam or GOG.com. It's Motivational Growth. It's by myself. And this year, before the end of the year, we're going to release a movie called Depth, which is tied to a recent AAA video game title release. It was made in conjunction with the game makers. So it's a feature film coming out. I can't say much about it.
Okay.
It was pretty awesome, though.
That sounds very awesome. And is it a short or
No, it's a feature-length film.
And real
feature
quick,
length?
Yeah.
Hyper Rabbit
Power
Go! If someone could, I can't really hear you too clear on that thing. If you could write it down and bring it out to me, I'd love you so much, Joe.
Walkie-talkie it is.
Oh!
Evo cares about butts most of all.
Evo? Well, all right. Given that they're bioscience, I think at least from a domain standing, they
have to care about butts
They
most,
do, yeah,
right?
have to
That's-
care about
I
butts.
By
think
default.
butts should be a movement. There should be a butts movement.
And thank you for the donations of businesses
Thank you so
today.
much. Go ahead,
And
sorry.
in future sense, this business will appreciate it, but today it's for the other businesses.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
they appreciate it. Feature length. Is this your first feature length?
Motivational Growth is feature
Oh,
length.
I didn't realize that. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying it. You know,
We make movies, man.
I'm heads down.
No, yeah.
But,
So that's feature length. We also make live action content and promotional materials for games.
and that's what I've seen a lot of yours, which is super cool
But
stuff.
thank you very much. But if you've seen like the Jazz Pump commercial, or recently we did one for Oregon Trail, a live action commercial that was featured in Maxim magazine. That's kind of what we do for bread and butter. And then when we get enough money together, we put together a feature film. Motivational Growth is one of those, and of course, Depth, this upcoming feature film this year, which everybody should look out for, is
The second.
the second. Yeah.
Well, a feature-length film is just a giant project.
Oh yes, this Depth has been in production and post-production. We're in our second year now. So there you go. This is awesome, guys. The more donations, the better.
Ready?
Hyper
Hyper
Rabbit
Rabbit
Go!
Go! Thank you guys so much for everything you're doing. This is awesome. Go ahead, walkie-talkie man.
Void Smoker donated $25. No affiliation or hidden agenda. Hashtag just for butts.
Just for butts.
Oh
Awesome.
yeah, butt sound. Doo-doo Brown.
Yeah. Man, I gotta get those other ones up here.
I just made a Doo-doo Brown reference, guys. That's an old song, old band even.
I need to know. See, I started butts here. I need to know how to spell the Raikou one. I'm so bad at spelling the dyslexia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's another reason to write them down.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
I even made up Renraku, and I probably couldn't spell it right now.
See?
For you, so.
Who in chat can spell that for me? Because I need to. I got Evo cares. I know how to spell Evo because someone put it down in there.
You got Aztechnology.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh wait,
Aztec
so we got the
with
pyramid
technology
one.
in the end.
Which one is it? The pyramid one.
Yeah, that's Aztechnology.
Aztec.
Yeah.
Ah, I can spell that. Sorry, Tina. Sorry. Not sorry.
Aztec, and then just as turn technology, so it's Aztechnology. So
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And Renraku, you just spelled Ren, then Raku. And you
Yay.
got Renraku.
Thank you, Joe. Hey, everyone, can we all say thanks to Joe?
Thank you, Joe.
Because he got up and he
And
walked all the way out
and I'm
here.
feeling embarrassed because I should have known that.
See, look. Okay, there's chat. You got this. All right. How about some updates on the mechs? Who's been working on what?
I got this guy here. I'm putting a piece of metal that I'm gonna weather down. It looks really bright right now, but I'm gonna weather the hell out of it. But these are my 3 base colors. Once I get done base coating all the way up the rest of the leg with these colors, I'm going to be adding this wonderful blue here, and then I'm going to throw on this Arcane as a highlight color, washed out with some white, and then I'm going to do white highlights all around, and then weather it all the way down, leaving the black on the inside. Before I do the weathering, I'm probably going to hit it with an ink wash. A black ink wash, just to give all the inside bits a nice greasy,
And
dirty
that's something
feel.
back in my day we didn't have ink washes.
Oh.
So I'd love to learn ink washes from you.
I would love to help you with it.
That would be great.
I actually use a very interesting technique I learned from a Golden Demon winner, where you wash down the paint, you wash down the fig, and then you use a nice big fat brush to use capillary action to pull off
Oh.
pools that you don't
Yeah,
want.
because
So
what
you
I used to do is
actually-
to just take paint and really water it down.
Right,
Which
right.
is which behaves differently than
it
inks.
completely does.
Yeah,
so I would love to show you how to do some
Yeah, that'd be
inking.
great. So what I've been working on
We got some
is
beeps.
first off.
One sec.
Can we have Don show that to the close-up cam again?
Yes,
Okay.
Go for it.
So sorry guys. This is I've got the black base coat. I've got some gray here, which is going to be my base for these larger bits, these chunks. This gray. I've got this blue, which is going to be the undercoat for this color here. The gray is going to be the undercoat for a metal color, and I've got these silver bits that aren't going to stay this color. They're not going to remain silvery and shiny. They're going to get all dirted up and rotted down. But I want it to look like there's at least some like just pure metal bits in there. So that's where I am so far. It looks like I've taken a long time to do very little, but if you'll notice, the coats are very even, and this guy is going to look pretty great when it's getting near done, which is going to be in a while, but.
Yeah, his is going to rock over mine. I'm very envious of the fact that you only have 3 colors. Because
I picked a palette and just roll with it.
Because Gel chose, he's upside down for you guys, so I can turn him around. Gel chose an extremely colorful palette, and again, I am only in their service. So I got like 13 different colors on this thing. And what I'm doing now is I just went around and did all like the green highlights on like the sides here and all the different joints, little ball joints. And now I'm going around and picking up all of the railings into the gunmetal here, or what do they call it, pig iron, to bring them into, pull them out from the background.
It'll always be gunmetal to me.
I have a pink question. Do you start with metallic, or is it better to end with metallic?
I think it depends on what you're doing. If the piece you want to look like a nice glowy metallic piece, I would highlight with it. But if you want to weather it down to make it look like a greasy, like I started with metallic for just this one piece. Here, guys, this one piece here. I started with metallic because I'm going to weather it down to make it look like a greasy, messed up piece of metal. So I need to have some of that sheen in there. However, if you want to really pop something, if you want to shine out, I would hold on to that metallic until your second to last or last coat. Before weathering, obviously. I hope that was informative.
Yes.
We all of a sudden got quiet.
I know, it's because we were listening
yes.
attentively.
When I listen, I get very quiet. But I paint in the background, which is always good. So what about you? What's your preference for metallic paints?
I would agree with what Don said. I think if the metallic is effectively the base coat of an area, then you got to do it early, right? Otherwise, if you want it to be like where the premise is that this is metal underneath but has been painted, then you actually apply the metallic as part of the dry brush.
Which is actually counterintuitive, right? Like, you don't want to. It seems like you'd want the thing under the paint to go on first. If you've never done this before, it might make sense. It might seem like you'd want to put, if it's meant to be the metal underneath the paint, you want to put the paint on the paint on last and the metal on first. But if you want to show paint scraped off, it's way easier to just paint on the metal at the end to make it look like it.
So someone's telling me not to use the same brush for metallic as for mauve. Why is that?
That's very true.
Right.
And because the little the metallic sparkly bits, and even worse if this damn
The glitter
the
stuff?
damn glitter stuff. Yeah. They stick into the brush fibers, and they'll be there in the next paint. The next colors you paint. Same is true with your water. You want to use different little glasses of water for changing your cleaning your brushes.
You probably can't see this, but this is full of metallic paint. So this is going to be used only as my metallic water because it's full of. If you shake it, it looks like if you take like a shampoo or something, right?
It's
and
pretty.
Right through it. Yeah.
I'd stare at that for hours. It looks like you're painting Easter eggs over there, by the way, with all your different color waters. I like it.
That's what we should do. Coming up for Easter, we should do.
Oh my God.
Like mech
I
We
would
should
love
do
that.
Easter. We should do
Yes.
where we're just painting Easter eggs.
I like that
for
idea a lot.
For the episode. That would be fun.
I'm a big fan of that idea.
All right, this is going to be interesting. I don't know if I'll say it right. Don, Tiger 1 or our Arado E555? I finished out a couple kits to work on while watching. Which one is your preference?
Wow. I'd go with the Tiger one.
What are those?
These are tanks.
Tanks, yeah.
Tanks,
These are
gotcha.
World War II
I'm
tanks.
actually I'm kind of cheating because I'm a giant fan of the Tiger tank. When I was a kid in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, that was a
I'm gonna guess what you. In my head, I know what you're gonna say. Say it.
I want to hear. I want to hear that.
Okay. What were you gonna say? A movie?
Maybe.
Were you gonna say Kelly's Heroes?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're still on number.
No, you go.
I
Tell
gave
the
you the
story.
thunder. No, Kelly's Heroes featured those tanks very heavily. I was into Kelly's Heroes and I was into Top Gun. Those were the two sort of military things. So I was into the jets in Top Gun and the use of tanks in Kelly's Heroes. So I'm a big fan of. That's really funny. It's awesome. So I was heavily influenced by that. So I'm gonna have to go with the Tiger tank due to its use. You guys should check out that movie.
Now, I was gonna say, people who haven't seen Kelly's Heroes, really, I don't know. It's on a streaming service. I don't know.
It has to be. Yeah.
It is. My kids watched it recently because I was like, they always hear me talking about it, and the pacing is definitely not modern pacing.
Right. No.
It's paced really slowly as everything was back in the 70s.
Kind of like Alien, how Aliens pace differently than modern day horror.
Yeah, but even more so because it was like 20 years before Aliens.
Right.
Oh wow.
So it's paced really slow, but it is a really fun movie.
Yeah.
With a lot of great performances and a fantastic premise. So, which we won't spoil by telling you.
Exactly.
But-
We'll let you guys check it out.
All right, we have
But
another.
It's definitely with your time.
We have
Yeah.
another question. What scale are the Death from Above mechs, and will we get a long tom they show on the board for indirect fire at some time in the future? I'm guessing long term.
Okay, so
You were showing the long time earlier, right?
yeah, so these the Death from Above mechs are in 1/100th scale. So like these little, this is a Bradley fighting vehicle in 1/100th over here. And these are in actual appropriate scale for each other. This is my first, kind of early work on a long tom piece for the artillery. Is that in this week's episode? If so, I'm going to be up really late.
You're behind.
I'm going to be up really late. Tyler didn't tell me he needed a long tom for this episode, so hopefully he doesn't. But I am building one just because I thought it'd be fun, and I was like repurposing all these treads from the Bradley fighting vehicles. So yeah, 1/100th scale.
1/100th.
Yeah, so that means 1 inch equals 100 inches, right? So 1 inch on
Gotcha.
these figures equals 100 inches in
Okay.
real life.
Does anyone have an orange paint water thing I can use to wash my orange? Because I'm gonna call this the death bucket.
It's
because-
red, but you're gonna have to use that.
Yeah,
That's fine. I'm
It's
fine with that.
non-metallic, so you should be okay.
And then I have a question. Do you guys do anything to clarify which brushes of yours are for metallics and which are for regular paints?
I
Like,
kind of this.
Just an organizing
I
system?
cheat. I use this guy. You can tell because there's some on the base.
So you-
Normally, if I were at my own little studio, I actually have a mat like this with little areas actually on it, and I would just put the brushes in those areas.
What about when you're storing them?
I'm super nerdy, and I
Go for it, man.
wash the hell out of my brushes. Like I hot wash them. I use a tea kettle and boiling water.
Wow.
Yeah, and you put.
You are nerdy. That's amazing.
wait, go. I want to know more about that. Tell
yeah.
me more about that, because I don't do that. That sounds
That's
like it
fascinating,
would be
actually.
good.
Yeah, so the brushes, as long as the water is not boiling when you do it, if you use boiling water and wait just a couple minutes after you've boiled the water, the brushes actually expand in the water, so they release more
More of the
glitter
paint.
and stuff, more of the paint in the hot water, and then you put them in a nice cool bath. They shrink back down. It's not noticeable visually, but it releases paint really well. And then I store the brushes in. So brushes normally come, when you buy them, they come in these little tubes. The brush ends come in these tubes. I keep these tubes and I label them. And I make sure, I'll show you with this one. I actually, when the brush is all done and it's all used and it's like this, I actually take the brush. You guys are going to love this. I put it in my mouth.
God, think of your children.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And so it's a nice little point.
You got to get the point. Actually,
And
there is no better way to get a point.
Exactly, than using your mouth. And then it's even funnier. My spit actually dries harder than water does.
So here.
And it maintains the shape of the brush because of my spit, guys. And then when I pull it back out, you saw me at the beginning of the show probably crunching into these guys
Yes.
to break the bond. It actually keeps your brushes in a really good state for a long period of time.
My next question, which I'm going to ask before anyone else does, do you bottle and sell your spit? And if you do,
Donate now.
And if not, can I get in on
right.
that? Because I'd like.
It's like there are superheroes whose spit
invest.
is is an enormous, powerful weapon.
Right.
And we're getting the sense that that's the case here too.
It's funny that it wasn't until it was brought up to me I was teaching a friend of mine how to paint, and it hadn't occurred to me in my entire life how completely reliant on saliva my painting technique is. It's entirely reliant on my own spit. So it was really odd when my friend was like, this is mostly spitting you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, it's true. So you mind if I steal your camera?
No, go for it.
So you guys notice I do the contrasty gray and blue on the foot there. That's going to carry over through the whole mech. It's going to be this nice gray and blue sort of contrasty
that's so
color.
good looking.
Hey, Joe, did you catch that?
Should I have...
Did they see
Hold
that?
it there for a
I'm
second.
gonna hold it for a
We have
second.
to give him a little warning.
Get a nice little contrast of color.
Oh yeah, I'm on top of it.
All right, cool. And again, this color here is going to be replaced with grimy metal, but I'm leaving it shiny. I'll probably do one more with these two little piston things in the back. Those probably will be nice shiny metal that I will then wash down into oblivion, so they look like they're covered in grease. Like this one has a little piston, and I imagine these two guys back here work as sort of hydraulic pistony bits to work on the inner leg, and so I want those to be covered in like machine grease. Because they're constantly working, right? So you need some sort of viscosity between their surfaces.
Spitscosity?
Yeah. They
Spitscosity.
actually use spit mixed with oil in the future.
So
Because water is rare,
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we've got two things here.
which is actually a thing in Battletech.
Right.
And I can tell you, that Don's mech is going to kick my mech's ass because I'm like in the volume business.
Right. Yeah. I don't have to deliver any particular mechs for a show tomorrow or whatever.
But yours is going to be great.
Mine's gonna be like the work of somebody
Yours
who
is
spent
a
a lot
love
of time.
child.
It's a love child, exactly.
And then this is the work of solid arranged marriage.
No, it's a
the 80s
production line versus
right. Like a boutique custom vehicle.
Yeah, exactly.
A
Craft.
kit car.
Craft name.
Aragwen, I'm so bad at names. Suggests you could dip the handle end of your brush in some metallic paint to mark it, which I think is a great idea.
That's a thing. I
that.
keep, since I wash my brushes to the degree that I do, I actually basically only need to know which paint or which brush is using metallic paint when I'm using it.
Right.
Afterwards, they get relegated back to standard brush status.
So now we've got someone who is contradicting your hot water scheme here. They
Okay.
say that hot water, you should not use hot water on brushes. The glue and the ferrule will melt.
That's interesting. I will agree that your experience is valid. My experience of, at this point, 22 years is it's functioned so far for me. But I'm probably eating that glue while that's happening too. So I think we both have valid. I'm probably not going to change my method. I'm that old guy now with the carcinogenic I'm the guy with the epoxy. Damn it! The cancer's not going to stop me sticking my brushes in the hot water.
So Cardinal Phage also suggests use Master Soap or Windsor and Newton brush cleaner.
I've used Winsor Newton before, and I feel that it changed the nature, and this could be completely psychosomatic, but I feel that it changed the nature of the bristles, and it could be the brushes I was using. Until very recently, I only used Citadel brushes. I was very brand committed.
Brand snub?
Yeah, I was, but it turned out over time, and I'm not speaking directly to I'm not saying one's better than the other or whatever, but Citadel has changed. The properties that made me love Citadel have changed over time, so I have moved away from that brand. Pioneer Press is actually a great brand, and their brushes especially are really incredible and cheaper. So it's very good. But I have moved away from Citadel, so I don't really know. Maybe Citadel brushes were the only brushes that were awesome in hot water. I don't know. I'm just going with what I have used in my life.
And Mondar asks, at what point do you throw the brush away and buy a new one?
Yeah, often.
Well, I would say actually I never throw them away because there are always uses for brushes that are kind of last use. So, for instance, when you need a brush in glue, which often happens.
Yep.
So
Like
for
for
instance,
flocking or something.
yeah,
I'm sorry, wait, hold on. What's flocking?
So flocking is when you want to actually like have little bits of terrain. So they for model railroads they make lots of little sand and flocking, which is kind of a soft foam.
There's also static grass. right?
Yeah.
Which is little tiny pieces of
broom
acrylic
handle.
or whatever, and you actually use static. You pour them on glue, and you use static to make them stand up.
Oh my God.
And then it dries that way. It's pretty cool. But you brush the
We
glue
should
on.
do
which is
that on
amazing
here.
too.
We
Yeah.
should have a terrain day, and
We should totally
someone
do
needs to
that.
come
Yeah.
on and teach me how to do terrain.
I would love that. I mean, I'm
Guys,
huge
you
into
want
terrain.
that? We should use science to make things.
We should because like the train, I don't know, the train underneath here
Right.
was like knocked out again.
In like no time.
In no time.
right? Yeah.
And it's just base color. And one of the things I really want to do is get out the hot hot gun,
The foam cutter?
foam cutter, the wire gun,
Yeah.
and start carving it up, and then get into all of the terrain things.
Yeah,
and that'd be
good.
great. Like the static, I've never done that.
You've never done static
No,
grass? Oh, it's so
no.
good. So I would actually have a
Totally
ton
have
of
to
it. I could bring it over.
That would be
do
awesome.
some stuff.
Yes, please.
That'd be great.
great.
But, all of my minis that aren't, because I this BattleTech is actually the first BattleTech 3D printed BattleTech mini I've ever painted. All of my minis being 30 millimeter or in some cases 20 millimeter skirmish minis, they all have bases, and the bases all have to look like some sort of terrain. So
Right.
I use washed rocks or
Right.
yeah,
And
like those.
we're,
You've
this,
made those.
This is a really bad base.
Right.
Yeah, this is just
It's a base.
styrene. But
So, yeah.
so we want to do the same there. But and also in the future, you don't only have to paint mechs. You can bring in your other figs and paint those on this show too. This is not.
I think
it's
I'd
not
be-
just a mech painting show.
I
It
didn't
is-
know that.
No, yeah, we can. It's all about painting whatever people want to
It
paint.
might be
And I
interesting to
wanna
show off a
learn-
30 millimeter paint job because
think-
there's a,
Anything you can bring in to teach, that would be fantastic.
well, how about this? There's a technique that I developed for
Yeah, 1-800 Dawn Spit. You know,
no,
the
not that.
viscosity
It's actually
method.
for I have 40,000 points of space orcs, which is hundreds of them, by the way. That's a lot of them.
Yeah, that is fucking a lot.
And I had to paint them, right? So how do you paint hundreds and hundreds of orcs? Well, I came up with a method that is a really, really, really high quality method that is basically a series of washes in a certain order with different viscosity that make it look like you paid all this, you airbrushed them. But you can actually just dip them effectively over time. And then with a little bit of love, each one of them can look like they were hand painted over a long period of time. Because I didn't want volume to kill my quality.
Right.
So it'd be nice to maybe show that off because
That
I
would
know
be
that
awesome.
it's a technique I developed.
I saw somebody was marketing a dipping system.
Really?
A couple years ago. I remember seeing that.
Wait.
But I would love to see your technique for that.
Quick
That would
question.
be very
Yeah.
cool.
So this dipping system we're talking about, is it? We're going back to the Easter eggs. Do you take like a little piece of wire to dip them in?
No, you just hold them by the base.
Okay.
I always base my minis before I paint them, so I have something to hold when I'm painting the mini. Some people don't. Some people like to paint the mini all the way down to the feet without basing it. But I like the base I use as kind of a palette too. So like
Okay.
I can bleed off the base. It's no big deal. So I hold the base, and then you dip the guy, and then you use, as I was telling before, you use a big fat brush to pull off via capillary action pools. But the longer a wash stays on a mini, the more it stains the coat underneath it. So what you do is you leave it on, and let's say I want a muscle area, like an arm's like this. In here, I want this to be dark, like I painted it dark,
Yeah.
and then I want it to gradually get lighter, like you would with an airbrush. So I'll dip the mini, and then use the brush to pull off all of the paint or all of the ink that's not in there.
Yeah.
I'll dip it again, and then I'll pull off less, and I'll just keep going less and less and less until the very top,
So.
and thereby leaving paint. The inner bit will have been exposed to ink longer.
Yes.
And it is this wonderful gradation. It looks like airbrushing.
So, do you do that for the whole? Do you dip just a piece of the mech for that, or are they?
These aren't mechs. These are
or
little
your
dudes.
figures. So
Here-
your
they're,
figures.
They're
are,
figures that are about
Biological creatures.
this big.
and so they're all one piece. So,
Right.
are you dipping the whole thing in doing this?
Yeah.
And does it? Are you? So, I'm so curious on how you get like an even. All around, like you've got the two arms,
Right.
So you're gonna do it on one side and the other at the same time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and speed is important, but the whole point of it was to make you paint with speed. So the fact that speed is important, if you weren't going to do it with speed anyway, you shouldn't be using that technique. So yeah, that's. I think we should actually
And
like.
remember, like last week, Dallas actually double based his figures to give him more of a area to hold.
That
and
was really
work
cool,
with,
yeah, because he used the last week. He used the top of a spray paint lid and taped his figure to that, which I thought was really smart because then you're not like holding the thing itself.
Right.
It seems like an easier way to manipulate things.
So I would love to actually show that technique off if you want. And I think
would
it'd be
be great.
easier to show than to describe.
Absolutely.
That would be
that'd
fantastic.
awesome.
I love learning new like art methods. Like to me, all of this, you guys have so much knowledge. Like I feel like there's so many questions I haven't even thought about to ask you yet. And I want to. What about you guys, chat? You guys got any technique questions for them? I'm going
to throw out a plug for people I don't know.
Do it.
But I saw a Kickstarter today for a video game, which is, I don't know if you've seen this one. It's called War Hex or War. I think it's War Hex.
I have not seen Kickstarter for War Hex.
But it's basically the premise is like beautiful dioramas of miniature figures. And the game is playing. You move the figures and they animate. It's kind of like battle chess, But it's all as if you had built this beautiful diorama.
Nice.
And we're battling on it, and it just looked really clever. I don't know how well it plays, but it looked. What I saw looked really cool, and it's on Kickstarter, and they're not looking for a ton of money.
So this is actually
anywhere near the traction I thought it would, because it looked cool to me.
Something we do on Star Mazer TV, which is our own Twitch show, is we call out to you guys to go find that War Hex Kickstarter link and post it in the chat.
Yes, please.
Because we're painting and we're not typing right now, so you should go do it.
I may have gotten the name wrong, so hopefully, but if you
are
can
you
find
on the chat? You should go find that.
Yeah, do it. Google's your friend. Oh yeah.
Link's okay.
I don't know. We have to ask the show guys if links are okay in the chat. So links are okay in our chat. So
I think links are okay in our chat. I don't know.
So we
Emily, are links okay in our chat? She'll tell us in 20 seconds.
That's a good question. I'm sorry guys, I didn't mean to
Links are okay.
Links are okay. Bring on the links.
Thanks, Kaz.
Tile.
Behind the scenes is Star Mazer's own Kazuo Maeda. He's running any Star Mazer questions or whatever. NS Man says, Kazuo, where are you when we need you? He's right there! He's actually just right off camera! He's really cool. So yeah, there you go.
We had someone ask for any tips and advice on painting pinstripes. Oh, hold on, beep.
Should mention that's for subs only, though.
For subs only. Want to post a link? Be a sub. Want me to write butts on the board? Be a sub.
You want to help local businesses? Donate some money.
Yeah, donate some money. If again, every 10 subs we get, we will be giving out a Steam key. So keep them subs coming.
So here's another view. I'm of course increasing this gray. Show you guys what's up. So I'd like to answer that question, the pinstripes question. Cheat. Remember, it's all about cheats, right?
Yeah.
Use a pen. A draftsman pen. You get these really nice, like really super fine draftsman pens. I would suggest using those either to set the line for your pinstripe, or if you're doing like heavy detail, if you're into like Japanese mech painting or whatever they have, you can actually buy mech painting pens that are like super fine pens to use to detail.
But like, what kind of paint is in the pen? Is
it's some kind of painty ink. I'm not really sure what it is.
Have you eaten it before?
I've never put that anywhere near my mouth. I have no idea.
There would be no need to.
Yeah,
because those tips are
super fine.
Yeah.
Sub for butts. Yes, guys, sub for the butts. And also for the people affected by the explosion. Not just the butts. Let's not forget that that's where it's going. Yeah! Hyper Rabbit
Power Go! We're all like in our paint. We're like Hyper Rabbit painting. Painting Rabbit Power Go.
And Esmond just to subscribe, so that means I get to put your lovely name on the butts board.
So guys, NS Man, I'm gonna call you on NS Man. NS Man is a Mazer. He's a Star Mazer fan.
Oh, excellent.
So he's in our Star Mazer chat. We call our fans Mazers. They've got their own things going on. If you guys want to see our show 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at starmazer.tv or twitch.tv/starmazer, whatever. Twitch.whatever/star, whatever. Starmazer TV, bras.
Yeah.
So check it out. But that's pretty cool. NS Man is one of the Mazers. So thank you for joining us here.
Thank you.
NS Man. I appreciate you following us here, and I'm sure Hyper Rabbit Power Go.
Oh, we appreciate the rabbit heck out
Do
of you.
you remember what color you used on the edging here?
Purple.
Okay, got that. Thanks.
Right.
Okay.
If I saw it, I would know it.
This is the center one. So that's the center one, it looks like.
That's the one. Oh wait, for the highlights?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not do the highlights. Someone else did.
Aha. Okay.
So that's that. And Esmond, I'm excited to write your name on the butts board. I'm gonna put an extra butt by your name.
Wow, double butt NS Man.
Double butt for you,
Big ups
NS
to the
Man.
one like double butt NS Man.
Yeah. Here we go. You're gonna go in the corner over here because it's closest to Don.
Yeah,
If you're a
dudes.
star user, you should be by the
Oh,
dawn.
I get out of your way.
Oh, it's okay. It's just me and the butts in the background. No big deal.
All butts all the time.
Every stream should have butts in the background. Yeah, there will be a lot of butts on this board, don't worry. And yes, I almost spelled the NS-men wrong. I apologize. I don't know why, but I was going to
That is a feat.
That's quite the feat. So now, as I say, Jordan is demonstrating, while he rifles through the box, we will be organizing our paints better soon. What way do you two organize your paints at home?
Again, I'm super nerdy. I have a custom cut foam paint organizer, and I organize them by shade. And I've actually numbered the shades and made a stupid spreadsheet
That's
that allows me to
stupid.
make
That's
sure
awesome.
they're all
That's
because
awesome.
I actually use there are certain palettes that I like, so I've recorded what those palettes are and keep the paints in those palette orders. I have a blue scheme that I like to use a lot on my orcs, for instance, and I always keep my blues in that order, so I can actually have my paint schedules laid out that way, and I can paint.
Would
that
you
way.
say you're orc CD?
Oh!
Oh!
Damn, son.
I, on the other hand, I'm always on the kitchen table,
Right.
And then my lovely wife Dawn will say, "Get all your shit off the kitchen table." And so it also gets slid into a box. And I started to think that the solution was I needed a bigger house that actually had a dedicated space.
Sure.
But it seemed like no matter how big a house I got, I was never allocated the space. So. That's not entirely true. I did have a spot in the basement for a little while, but of course it was during the period when I wasn't actually didn't have the time to do the work. So I'm back on the kitchen table. But anyway, so my organization sucks, and I'm often doing exactly what I'm doing now, which is fruitlessly hunting for things.
I'm currently, I basically have turned my apartment into, it's a studio, and there's a loft section above it, which I sleep in. So I sleep in the studio, basically, and I'm so okay with that. My 12-year-old self would be very, very pleased to hear that. And I'm trying to figure out a way for myself to organize my paints, which are these big bottles of acrylic. Have you guys ever used larger bottles of acrylic with limited space?
Nope.
So Pinterest is going to be my friend in this situation. It's been interesting trying to set up my own studio space.
So you and I actually have a similar situation. The Star Mazer office, the Imagos Softworks and Imagos Films office, is actually where I live, and we've allocated the space to office computers and to creation spaces and the Star Mazer TV studio. So I've actually technically. When I like recount taxes, my CPA has allowed me to allocate only my bedroom as my living space because the rest of the space, literally every day, right now there are people at my office, which is technically my home, doing work. All hours of the day and night, there are people in there working. So it's been quite a chore to kind of like live a life, the life part. But if you're doing art for a living, you realize very quickly that the life part is secondary always to the art part, and I think that that's a valid thing. I think that that's a choice you make, or a choice we've made.
It was a choice I definitely made when I moved in. Like, I've naturally been trained, well, not naturally trained, but I've grown accustomed to taking anywhere I live and making it feel like a home. And now that I have art is my life, art is my home, I had to fight my instincts of making the place just look nice, like one piece of art on the wall, make it look homey, you know.
Right.
I have to make it a workspace.
Right.
So now there's just stuff everywhere. And I personally
Our
like
situation here is a little different because we needed an actual big studio to shoot in.
Yeah.
We built this place, but then everybody who works here now lives at my house. so it's you end up taking home work with you anyway.
Yes, I should rage some garage sales for Rex. That would be a good idea. And apparently, only 6 more subs for a Steam giveaway.
Wow, guys,
Right.
that's only 6. We can do that.
5 or 6? I think we could do that. What
We
do
can
you
do
think?
that.
Yes. You cook. You like painting minis, and we just became best friends. Oh, that was Hyper RPG.
Let's read our own. Look at our own stuff.
I think it would be. I don't want to No, we shouldn't do it. I was gonna say we should do a cooking show with paints.
I have been told that I am quite the cook.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, and I have this, in some cases really positive and in some cases really negative problem, which is I learned to cook with or 4 friends, so I can only ever cook to feed like 20 people. So whenever I cook dinner at home for anybody, it's always kind of a mess because it's incredible apparently, but it's also way too much.
Well, if you guys ever want to come over and cook for me, you're more than welcome to. I actually have it set up so if I wanted to, I could stream from my kitchen. I have before to do cooking streams.
I've actually, on Star Mazer TV, we had a pancake attack one day and needed to have pancakes. So we set up a camera, a kitchen cam, a Star Mazer kitchen cam.
Ooh.
That kind of lives there now.
Oh, I do like pancakes.
We pancaked the hell out of it.
Oh, pancakes.
So my eldest son Zach conned me into kickstarting the pancake plotter. I don't know if you saw that one fly by.
Is that like a CNC?
It's a CNC pancake.
Nice.
So you
want
you put in the graphic design you want, and then it actually
it generates a pancake.
It generates a pancake.
That's awesome.
It was an impressively engineered piece when it arrived. I'll tell you. I don't know if he's actually got. He's been working on it. Zach. He's been working on trying to get it to go, and I don't know.
I like that you.
My Zach, not this Zach.
I like that you've attempted to slough it off on Zach as though you super didn't want the pancake plotter yourself, which you super did. Everyone super does.
What I didn't want to do was the work of getting it going.
Right.
See, now it's at his house, and he's going to make it work, and then we get the fun of playing with it.
Yeah.
May I use your metallic water, Sir Donald?
Oh yes, please. Here,
Also,
take it. It's yours.
Zach,
we weren't talking about you. We're talking about another Zach entirely. You don't even get to come on the show.
No.
Oh.
2 minutes?
Damn, 2 minutes. I am not going to be done in 2 minutes, guys.
I had Mauve questions next. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Check it out. In 2 minutes, we're going to be done. That means one of you has to donate more than $100 if you want the spit paper.
Yeah, if you want the spit paper, go for it. John here's in charge of sending it out, though.
Oh, am I?
Yes.
I was going to leave it with you guys.
Yeah, but I'm going to leave it with you.
Oh, man.
Guys, 2 more minutes.
So normally when you spit on something, Don, that's a way of saying it's mine.
Right. I'm actually spitting on things and saying it's yours.
Spitting on things in the name of Jordan.
Yeah. So, Jordan, if you wouldn't mind me taking your camera for just one more second.
Go for it.
I'm going to show them before the show is over what I'm doing. This is kind of the color schedule I'm going for. Again, these are all just base coats. Next show, I'll actually highlight the hell out of these and really grow this into a functional color scheme. And then I'll try to get this one leg all the way done.
You can take paints and the pieces with you if you want to continue at
If
home.
I had the ability to paint at home, I'd just be doing that. I'm going to use this as my opportunity to do it because I've got so much stuff back at the office.
We all do.
1 second, guys. Minute and a half, probably less, to get stuff on the butts board. But we've got to finish up here, so I want to be able for you guys to say goodbye and say.
I'll pull my guy away.
Yeah. So plug away, please.
Yeah.
Don, where can people find you?
You can find me at Star Mazer TV 3 times a week. That's STARRMAZER.TV on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. PST, Thursdays at 3 p.m. PST, and Saturdays also at 3 p.m. PST. You can also find my game Star Mazer at starmazer.com, STARRMAZER. That's twice as many stars as any other Star game. You can also check us out on Twitter and Vine and Instagram and Facebips and all the other stuff. We have a YouTube channel. It's got a bunch of cool stuff. You're probably going to see a lot of this because there's another camera recording for you right now. It's going to be awesome.
All right, so guys,
that's us.
This is Jordan Weisman. He is, again, not the grandfather. You're the father of BattleTech and Shadowrun. Do you have anything you want to say real quick before it's about
can't wait to come back and paint. I won't be here next week because of my travel schedule, but basically every other week I hope to be here painting and having fun.
I love that. That's amazing. And you guys, thank you so much for all your donations to the Butts board. So just so you guys know, next we have whatchamacallit, the Shadowrun News is next, so you definitely want to check that out. And then after that, we have the Shadowrun Corporate Sins. So you're gonna also want to just stay here, just camp out at your computer. You're gonna want to do that. Thank you so much to everyone who subbed today. Thank you so much to everybody who donated today. Again, going towards a good cause. Keep up the donations. Again, throughout the day, that's all going towards everyone who was affected by the explosion in Seattle today at their GoFundMe. So don't forget that. And continuing through, every 10 subs we give away a Steam key. So during the next show, keep on subbing, keep on donating. You guys are awesome. Thank you two so much for coming and teaching me in chat.
Yeah, of course, great
how
fun.
to do this. This has been fantastic. And the Butts board, hashtag Butts board or bust. We want this to evolve, and I've got ideas and stuff to get more questions from you to them. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. Stick around.
Sorry, still painting.
Wait, we gotta see what this is.
At the last minute, $101.
After a donation, there's always a message. You have to be quiet to hear the donation. You think you'd know that by now.
Yeah,
after a whole day.
I just get really
so
excited.
now Joe's gonna actually tell you what it said.
Okay.
#Evo still cares about butts most of all.
Nice.
Excellent.
Nicely done, Evo.
Even though the show's ending, I will finish that for you. Thank you so much, Evo. Thank you so much to Renaku, and thank you so much to Ads Technologies for all of your support and promoting your corporations. Go corporations. I only say that now. But you guys are the best. Thank you so much. Come by next week
Spit
and
papers.
stick around. See you later, guys.
Wrap it up!